the shadows they wander alone, old ruins where fears have grown, eyes that watch from ancient stone, whispers chill right to the bone. Gothic castles rise in the night, ghostly figures glide out of sight, wolf howling under pale moonlight, darkness creeps and grabs too tight. You have fallen into the EuroCrypt. There is no escape from the EuroCrypt. Fog curling through cobblestone streets, footsteps echoing heartbeats, vampires hunt their nightly feast, lurking monsters are released. Silent scream in a sepia dream, melancholy miles downstream, no one's safe or so it seems, worlds unravel at the seams. You have fallen into the EuroCrypt. There is no escape from the EuroCrypt. Fallen into the EuroCrypt. There is no escape from the EuroCrypt.
All right.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
What's going on, man? We are back in the EuroCrypt.
Absolutely, man. This is one that I cannot wait to talk about.
Right, man.
It's been coming like for weeks, and
yep.
Oh man, I can't wait for this show, man.
Yeah, man. We've had the thumbnail up for a little while, and Johnny was gonna be on with us, but unfortunately couldn't make it. I think he has family in or something, but yeah, man, this is gonna be a great one, for real. Dario Argento's Phenomena, man. Pretty psyched to get into it.
Absolutely, man. Probably his favorite film of his whole catalog. That I was surprised to read that as well. Like Phenomena. Yeah. I know he was pretty down on like opera until someone told him, like Alan Jones, the journalist in the UK, told him it was a great film, and he changed his tune. But yeah, I mean, can't wait. Absolutely can't wait.
I think this might be his favorite film because this is when he got away from his father and his brother. And then like this is his first produced film, directed, complete control over this film. He threw like all the money at it, right? He had what's the damn
you want about the writer?
Armani, right?
Oh yeah, the actual fashion people, yeah, he got them in as well.
He had Armani or whatever, doing the fashion, the costumes. Like he threw $4 million at it, you know, like he was all in, all or nothing, man.
And I mean, like this was one that he got Franco Ferrini in to write, and it's kind of his relationship with Dario Nicolodi was just gone at this point. So he brings him into writing. I think he even introduced Ferrini to Dario Nicolodi, and she fucking knew that I'm the new writer type of thing. And she must have been thinking, shit, you know? I know she went on to work with him again on opera, but their relationship was fucking gone, man, at this stage.
Yeah, and you know that like he doesn't do any he didn't do her any favors in this one. Because
no, he didn't. No,
because he's got her looking rough as hell. Like she's not as, you know, the beautiful apple of his eye looking actress in this one. You know what I mean? Like he's got her playing a very down, like I don't know, what would you say, plain Jane kind of character for the most part.
like a plain Jane, but to me, she's still beautiful. I
Yeah,
think,
she is.
like
No,
around
she's
this
awesome.
time as well.
I gotta say though, personally, I think this is her worst performance. I really do.
Yeah, but I was gonna say that to you when we talk about the
But
film. But
yeah.
do you think, like, I think she just overacts, like that, and she does it on purpose. I really believe that.
I think it's Argento though. I think he set her up for failure. You know, in this one.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean? So I don't think it's nothing per se. Like I don't think it's necessarily her fault, but I don't think he did it. Like I said, he didn't do her any favors. He got her doing some very rough things, like through this period too, like he did in opera, right? He's got her, you know, one. Well, we won't get into it yet, but anyway.
No, but he's got her like working dangerously with a fucking wild animal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know? I was gonna hold off.
We'll hold off to the actual scene, but
right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. She said, I think in one scene as well, she had to like hide in this cupboard and then come out, you know, with just before the pool scene, which we'll mention anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, she does look rough in this, but to me, she's still beautiful.
Yeah, man. Well, let me get into the comments right quick, man, before we get started.
Absolutely, yep.
Let's see, we got my beautiful wife, which I did screenshot some of these already, but she said, hey guys and girls, come join the fun, comment and share the live. Appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, Tash? Yeah.
And then we got Jimmy. EuroCrypt is my favorite portion of DEADPIT Radio. Really looking forward to this one. Damn, man.
That fucking blows my mind, man.
That's insanity.
Someone says that.
That's insanity.
Yeah, thanks for the comment.
I appreciate it, but holy shit, dude. Nah, I mean, DEADPIT, you know, we get like we're down here in the EuroCrypt, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're nowhere near DEADPIT level.
Right. We got Jason Johnson. What's up, guys? What's happening, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Adrian James, what's going on, man?
Hey.
See you. Welcome to the panel of pain. What's up, Texas man?
There's the original OG, Texas, in the chat.
Yeah. Let's see. Been obsessed with phenomena since I was a kid and saw the VHS Creepers version of the bugs eating Jennifer's face on the cover. Yeah,
that is a great cover.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come into it, but I mean, Creepers is some people like it.
That's what I remember seeing in the video store was like that cover, you know.
Yeah, it's one of the best cover arts. Yeah,
for whatever reason, I never rented it when I was a kid. I saw it way later, like for whatever reason. Which I'm kind of glad though, because you know, I don't know.
Well, we'll come into that, but I was kind of late with this film as well. That's
crazy.
Not one of my early Argento.
Would have thought that I would have rented that shit. You know, all the shit I was renting back then. But
it's probably best that you didn't really see the Creepers cut first, to be honest.
Yeah, because I saw the international cut first, because that's what I was told was the best, and I was like, okay, let me check that out, and then I watched the Italian, and then I watched the Creepers. So
it's still the best, I think, is the international. Definitely.
I think it is. Yeah. I know a lot of people prefer Creepers though.
I know, it's got its fans. I know.
It's got a shorter runtime. I mean, it's almost the same length as Texas Chainsaw. You know,
it's 83 minutes.
Right.
They cut a lot out of it.
Almost a half hour.
The guy. So so that was New Line, wasn't it? So I think the guy who wrote The Burning, he was doing kind of editing.
Mm-hmm.
I got it in my notes. I know the guy's name. He directed Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it down too somewhere. We'll get into it though.
Jack Shoulder, is it?
I think so. So. That sounds right. Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he kind of butchered it for Creepers, but you know.
Jimmy says, Daria's appearance in Deep Red to Phenomena is night and day. Definitely, man. Like, like I said, Argento didn't do her any favors, man. This by far is her worst performance I've seen. But
she arguably said as well, I think she said by this point Dario fucking hated me even with my look on screen.
Yeah, she's
whereas
probably
like he was
like
in love with her during Deep Red.
Yeah, Deep Red to what they're like. It's Deep Red to Opera, and then they do Mother of Tears later, right? I think that was it.
Yeah, well, they did. She did Inferno. She plays a pretty decent part in.
Well, that's
Inferno.
what I'm saying. Deep Red to Opera.
Oh yeah. Because the one she missed out obviously was Suspiria, which pissed her off no end.
Oh yeah. She's in Suspiria, right? If you blink, you miss her, right?
Right. Yeah.
In the airport. So,
well, it's debatable whether she is in that scene because a lot of people have kind of paused it, and
I didn't think that was her either, but from what I read, it's supposed to be her. I don't know.
But she's a big part of that film anyway. We just right in,
We got Terry Davia. Hey all, great film. Seen it a million times, but always so fun. Awesome.
Absolutely. And, good to
let me ask you this, Terry. What is your preferred cut of Phenomena? Let's see. Justin Marino, the Panel of Pain. What's good, fellas? What's happening, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, appreciate everyone in the chat.
Yeah, we got quite a bit in here, man. I'm happy everybody came by, checking us out. But
I mean, Argento is kind of usually some of our popular videos anyway, or live streams.
Yeah, definitely.
But we will be probably having a break after this one because I know Dirk's like, we have done a lot of Argento recently.
We have done a lot of Argento in the past.
Yeah,
few months, right? Past couple months at least. Yeah, I mean, I was glad to get in the deep cuts though. That was cool.
Oh God, yeah, I'm so glad they brought that stuff out, man.
But yeah, man. So you was mentioning Farini. So he worked with Deodato, like Dial Help, right?
Dial Help. I think he pitched the idea to Dario for that film. And Dario kind of passed on it and said, "Look, I want to write some of this film myself." But yeah, he went on then with Deodato to do Dial Help, which I particularly like, but it's kind of fucking out there. It's like a killer phone type film.
Right. So he got the idea. He was on vacation with his mother. Argento was, right? He got the idea. Yeah. They didn't have TV where they were at. They were here in Switzerland, right?
I think they were in France at the time.
Yeah. I thought they were in Swiss Alps or something. But
I think it was on French radio, but that gave him the idea then.
But he got the idea from hearing about the insects helping the detective solve the case. So that's how he got the idea.
He went one step further though, didn't he?
With he got obsessed. He got obsessed with an entomologist. Right?
Entomologist is what I would say, but
insect specialist. So he went deep into that, obsessed with it. But he does that a lot though. When he gets into something in his mind, like he'll kind of like he does with Stendhal, right? He got into
He did it twice for this film as well because he really got into the fact that the look of the monster, the boy, has got like this kind of disease which he completely like read books on. They were, and he wasn't sure right up until before filming, I think, or in pre-production of how the killer was going to look, and then he kind of delved deep into that subject and realized he could, do that as well. And you've got to think that Don't Look Now as well is probably a big influence on this film.
Oh, yeah, man. Also, so I would say, I mean, maybe I'm thinking that he got his eye, like the Dario Argento eye. He had to have gotten that from his mother, though, because his mother would take hours. She was a photographer.
Yeah.
And she would take hours and hours to prepare one photo, So I'm kind of thinking Dario got that from his mother.
And they were always beautiful women as well, which obviously Dario has a lot in his films, and he ends up killing them gruesomely. But that's how he learned off his mother how to like see a shot, and he was very young at the time, and it was like Sophia Loren she was photography with. She was doing photos for all the top stars in Italy. And he come from a very privileged background. Did Dario, because Claudio was in the film business as well. I think all his family were, at one point.
His dad was big producer, right? Salvatore.
Yeah.
But this is like, I think this was probably why this is his favorite film, though, because he had complete control. He had no one telling him nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like, so he's like, all right, we're going to do this. And he had all these ideas, all these different ideas, but he couldn't figure out how to put them together. So that's why he brought in Franco Ferrini. But
I think Ferrini did the most part of the, the story. But what Dario did is kind of like you say, just add little things to tie up all the scenes so they kind of blend together and all that. But I think Ferrini did the main part of the screenwriting.
A lot of the action scenes, I thought, right?
Yeah, and certainly the whole ending as well. But I think you can thank Dario Nicolodi as well for the actual sleepwalking scene. She gave Dario the idea for that because she was a very young kid. When she was like 5 or 6, she would sleepwalk a lot. And as you know, a lot of these ideas from films for Dario came from Dario Nicolodi, but for some reason he just didn't give her the credit most of the time, which is sad.
Yeah, especially Suspiria. I mean, after Deep Red, though, you notice how like everything changed. Like his whole aesthetic to his films just completely looked different from Deep Red on. You know.
Oh yeah.
But she was like his muse there for a while. You know.
And people always say like they were married, but they really wasn't.
No,
they were never married.
Yeah,
obviously
they had a kid together.
Well, they had Asia Argento, yeah. And you've got Dario's other daughter in this as well, Fiore, which we'll come on to some of the cast in a minute.
Well, while you're speaking of that, I'm gonna go ahead and show my first clip.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Fiore, here we go. Yeah, man,
I can't wait to talk about that. I don't want to jump the gun like too much because I want to go through some of the cast and we'll go through like some of the cast and crew. But what a way, man, to start the film.
It's a great opening. Great opening.
So yeah, I mean, have you got any more on the crew that you want to mention, or?
I know that the music video was with Bill Wyman. The Valley song that we was just hearing.
Man,
he did the music video for that as well, but that's Bill Wyman, and Michele Soavi directed the beginning. He directed the beginning scene with Fiore, what we was just watching. Did you know that?
Yeah. That piece of music's called Valley, like you say.
Yeah.
It's, so like the guy from obviously Bill Wyman and the Rolling Stones, that's possibly some of my favorite music ever in a fucking film. Like there's that opera as well. I love it. Man.
That atmospheric, like mood, tone. I don't know, something about it. And with
it's incredible piece of music, man.
And with the Swiss location and everything, with the wind and everything, it's just
the great. Isolation, the wind. Oh man, we'll come into that opening scene though, because I want to really go deep.
Yeah.
But like you say, with the music, so you've got 2 members of Goblin, Simonetti and Pignatelli, Simon Boswell. He wasn't a very big fan of Goblin. He was saying, I was looking in the documentary. he kind of said they were not for him. They weren't his type of music. He didn't really like them.
He didn't like
to be honest.
He didn't like the prog rock, the
synth
mixed with rock, I guess.
Right. And he went on to do a few good things. He went on to do Delirium from 87, Stage Fright 87, and Demons 2.
Right.
The cinematographer is a guy called Romano Albani. And he did opera.
That's the guy I was going to talk about.
Go on, go for it, man. I wasn't sure whether you had notes on him. That was
Albani.
Yeah.
He wasn't it with Inferno as well? Cinematographer on Inferno, or no?
So he was on opera.
So his mentor was on Inferno, right? Or Suspiria? No, his mentor was on Suspiria.
It might have been, yeah, because I know one
Luchino Tovoli, I believe that's his name.
Okay, so Albani, he did like a Australian car commercial with.
Right.
That's how we got to really know him, and he's a well-known face in, you know.
Yeah, I got him over here, man. Hold on, let me find it. I just had that. Damn it.
He did some interesting films, man.
Right. So I had Inferno. I thought he worked on Inferno.
Oh yeah, I've got it down here. Yeah, so he did do it.
Yeah, he did Inferno. He did Troll, 1986, and I actually saw Troll way back in the day when I was a kid, man. So I
actually like Troll better than Troll 2, which is not a popular opinion.
That's crazy because his mentor. That's what I was thinking. His mentor was Luciano Tovoli, which he was the cinematographer on Suspiria.
Right. So that makes sense. Is where he went on to do Inferno then. Yeah.
Right. And then I didn't realize that Tovoli was also the cinematographer for when we covered Obsession, Taste of Fear.
Yeah.
That Forgotten Jolly that we covered, you know.
Which I love, by the way. I love that one.
Yeah, it's a weird one. But the cinematography is great. Yeah, the colors and shit.
Oh man, that part of this film is incredible, like the blues and all that.
But Albani also worked under Mario Imperoli. You recognize that name?
Yeah, I've heard of that name. Yeah, that's come up a few times.
But yeah, the really only two that of note that I found was Inferno and Troll, though. Besides this,
I know he did TerrorVision.
Okay.
He did like Rabid Dogs, which is a Plistevsky film from '76, which is
one I still need to see. Yeah.
Oh man, like think of Almost Human. It's kind of along those lines.
Right.
He did one called Bloodlink in '82, which is kind of like a giallo. And The Sunday Woman in 1975, which is again, when people call it a giallo, I'm like, I don't know, but it's kind of got elements.
And you got the editor, Franco Fredicelli. He worked on Bird with the Crystal Plumage, all the way from Bird to Opera. He was the editor. So that's the editor for this one as well. So
and it shows, I think, the quality in his work.
Right.
It really does.
Over 150 film credits.
Yeah.
So he did stuff like My Dear Killer, 72.
Oh man, love that one.
Demons 1 and 2, Cemetery Man.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's top notch.
There's a big link with this film as well, with Michelle Suavi, who we're going to mention as well.
Right. And I noticed that. So this is Stivoletti. I always mess his name up. Sergio
Stivoletti. Yeah.
Stivoletti. This is his first film for doing makeup effects.
No, he did do a Murder Obsession for Ricardo.
Yeah, that's
Fredo.
right. 81 is Freda's. That's his first. But this
was the film that actually made him well known.
Made him big.
Made him massive in Italy. This one.
Right. And then the second unit crew. So Argento put Luigi Cozzi on the second unit crew. They were just really filming the insects. Like they were focused in on all the insect stuff. Like that's great. Like what we're seeing right there behind us.
Yeah.
That looks amazing.
the like point of view shots and
the detail. I don't know what kind of lenses they're using, but holy shit, that is amazing.
This was kind of it was kind of a big budget, or a decent budget for this one, just for because Dario knew to do all those insect shots. You know, you got to spend a bit of money.
Supposed to have been $4 million total, I think.
$4 million, yeah, because it's
which is a lot back in '85, right?
It is, considering he made his own company as well, and he got, like you said earlier, he got rid of his father and his brothers. Kind of, they fell out big time. They won.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I can't remember right offhand what it was between him and his brother. Do you remember what it was? It was something to do with his brother went on, did something. I can't remember exactly.
Didn't he? Yeah, he took umbrage at some work that his brother did, or there was a massive rift, and then his father became involved. But I think the guy Romano Albani is the actual one that got them back talking, like further down the line.
Yeah.
Which was,
And we got to mention Inga Tanga. The chimpanzee in this film.
Man, yeah. So. Wow. I was amazed, right? So if you watch there's a 2-hour documentary on this, in this version, the UK. And they actually don't hold back, and they tell you straight there was like abuse of fucking animals in this film. Tanga, right? Mm-hmm. So what Tanga would do is was it he or a she? I don't even know.
I think it's a she. I think it's a female.
Oh, okay.
I believe it is.
So when the monkey misbehaved, I think Kotze says in the interview, like the trainer would take it back to the actual trailer and beat the shit out of it. He pretty much said those words as well.
Yeah, I could imagine back then, like it's a shame, really.
It really is. And I think the monkey went AWOL at one time as well, and they lost him in the woods for like 2 days.
And thanks for subscribing, Devil Cat. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You just subscribed to DEADPIT. Appreciate you. And Jimmy says, did they ever say what caused the relationship to end so badly? The details are, do you know exactly?
Like, right, so you've got to
kind of blurry.
You've got to read between the lines.
Right.
So the thing because there's a scene in this film we're going to mention where...
We got Lauren here. Good evening.
Hey, what's up, Lauren? Nice to see Lauren. What's going on, man? But there's a scene in this film where Jennifer's mother, she leaves the family to go and have, to leave with her lover, and Jennifer never sees her mother ever again. That was kind of loosely based on Argento's relationship with Dario Nicolodi. I know during Tenebrae, there's an actor called Antonio Franciosca who was they were hinting that him and Dario was getting pretty close.
But Dario was kind of doing some things too. Like he was kind
of. I'm sure he was no angel as well.
Yeah, he was into the drugs. I'm sure the drugs didn't help, right?
Right. So
we know he got arrested for heroin.
Him and Dario got arrested. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So anytime that's going on, and there's no telling.
But he's always hinted. You can take whatever Dario says with a grain of salt, but he's always hinted that Dario Nicolodi done the dirty on him. I don't know. No, I don't know. I'd like to ask Troy that question.
Right.
So how? But yeah, you just got to read between the lines and make your own mind up, really.
Yeah, nobody was really there, so it's he said, she said at the end of the day. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. And we haven't even touched on Donald Pleasance yet. But I did want to mention one thing. I'm gonna let you say the rest. But Orson Welles was originally supposed to play John McGregor.
He was, yeah.
So that's insane. I wouldn't want to see that. It'd been interesting to see Orson Welles play Donald Pleasance, but that's pretty wild.
That would have been interesting because the fact of Orson Welles was a heavy dude at that time.
Yeah.
They had it all lined up for him to come over. I think he asked for free plane tickets where he was going to come over with his assistant or his PA or whatever. And then Luigi Cozzi got hold of him and said, why free tickets? And literally Orson Welles was that big that he took two seats on a plane. But he fell ill literally after accepting the role. He fell ill within weeks.
I remember
run them up.
I remember Orson Welles during this time because, I mean, I think it was around this time when he did that Nostradamus documentary. Did you ever see that?
No, I've never seen that one. No.
Orson Welles hosts and he's talking about Nostradamus, all the Nostradamus predictions and stuff. So I imagine, I imagine it was around this time. Might have been a little later, but he was pretty heavy back then. Yeah.
I don't know if that would have worked. I don't know whether they would have still had him in the wheelchair role.
It wouldn't have mattered because I think they wrote that in.
Okay.
Yeah, because somebody was saying Donald Pleasance was in bad health, but I don't think he was. I think that was written on purpose for him to be in a wheelchair,
Yeah, I think Pleasance was pretty much okay at this point.
Right.
Yeah. But
he would have been okay in that damn wheelchair. So yeah.
It would have been a big wheelchair though. That's the thing. I don't know. Yeah. This one we'll never know. We will never know. Do you want to go into the cast a little bit?
Go ahead, man.
So you've got Jennifer Connelly. She stars as Jennifer Corvino. People I know her. I've literally got her main credits. I always put the horror kind of thriller credits down. So she did Dark Water, 2005.
Right.
Requiem for a Dream, which you can kind of argue is maybe horror.
It's got definitely some dark moments, and it's one film that should be played at every high school.
I mean, I definitely for the
just say no
drug taking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. She, interestingly enough, she was in a film called Itolai in 1989, which I've never seen, but I've heard it's got similar kind of aspects to this. It's kind of a fantasy film.
Right.
And
I remember Labyrinth. I remember Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I remember what's the other one I'm blanking on? Damn.
You probably know more of her mainstream stuff than I do, to be honest.
Well, you can't forget the Incredible Hulk, right? I mean, or the Hulk.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She was in the Hulk. That's a pretty big movie.
Once Upon a Time in America was the big one that got her into the business, and I think Sergio Leone, Dario Argento, kind of worked on that, didn't he? Wasn't he a writer? And so Leone kind of said to Dario, "I think you should look at this girl, Jennifer Connelly, and the rest is kind of history." But
I've heard some pretty wild things about. She's barely talked about this film, a handful of times, I think.
Do you think that's got a lot to do with Tanga biting her finger, to be honest?
Well, I don't know how true this is. Like we said, information, especially the internet and everything, and people talking, and these scholars and film historians and all that, but supposedly that she was supposed to be nude in this movie. Did you hear that?
She was. Yeah.
Holy shit, man. That's wild.
I think her parents took a lot of persuading. Dario had to really persuade them for her to do this role. But just briefly, I'll just say, so she was born in New York. She began her career as a child model at the age of 10.
Right.
Her first acting role was the age of 14, Once Upon a Time in America. But her breakthrough came in 2000 in Requiem for a Dream, playing a drug addict. She won an Academy Award, Golden Globe, and BAFTA for Best Supporting Actress in Ron Howard's A Beautiful Mind in 2001.
Yeah, I remember that. That is a good movie.
She is such a bright person as well. So I was reading, so she's fluent speaker in Italian, French, and her main interests include quantum physics and philosophy. So she's fucking right up there in terms of intelligence.
Oh, yeah. Well, you get shines in the screen, though, too. I think.
Very young, as you can see. Yeah, exactly.
I'm blanking on the other film that she did when she was very young. It's I want to say it's a fantasy film, not Labyrinth, but
not about Atola, are you? The one I mentioned, no?
I might be mixing something up. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, so that's okay. So we got Daria Nicolodi. She plays Frau Buckner. So she's obviously, we just mentioned a big thing about her and Dario. She was born in Florence, Italy. She was the daughter of a lawyer and a scholar of ancient languages, and the granddaughter of a very famous composer, Alfredo Casella. So she moved to Rome in the late 1960s, where she began her career in acting and screenwriting. She made her film debut in 1970s, many years ago. She appeared in Elio Petri's Property is No Longer a Theft in 1973. She won Italian Critic Awards at that time as well, for Best Newcomer. I think it's the Donatello Award. And then after that, you've got all the stuff she did, writing Suspiria, and she appeared in Deep Red and all that.
She was in Rocket Man, a Rocketeer.
Okay.
A Disney film. But I guess I was mixing her up with something else. I was thinking of that film Legend, but she's not in Legend, I don't think. So.
Oh, okay. So Daria Nicolodi then, so her roles became sporadic then after the death of her daughter Anna. So her daughter Anna, she died in a car accident. She was bulimic as well, I believe, or anorexic. And she appears at the end of, I think, Trauma. That's where you see Daria Nicolodi kind of in the mid to late 90s.
Got some kind of, like, isn't it like some Jamaican music playing or something at the end of Trauma?
Yeah, it's completely out of context of the whole film, but she just dances over the credits at the end.
Right.
It's well worth seeing, just, And I mean, Asia Argento was very close to her. She got like a tattoo of her, very famous tattoo of her on her body.
And Connolly's character in this is a vegan, so that's taken from Fiore, right?
Yeah. So
but
this film her character was based on Fiore, wasn't he? Dario's daughter. Yeah.
And Dario recently became a vegan. He wanted to eat healthier. He checked himself into a clinic to adjust, I guess.
And he didn't do things by accident, like you said. He chucked himself into a lot of these subjects, but he later got out of that. He didn't become a vegetarian. He quit at one point a few years later. Right. I do want to mention Delea De Lazario, and she plays the headmistress. Her big role was the Pajama Girl case, which is a fucking great giallo.
I knew I'd seen her. I knew I'd seen her somewhere. Yeah.
Oh man, she's so good in that film.
I thought she was good in this one, I think. But
yeah. Well, she's in Your Voices a Lot Room, but she's literally an extra. She plays like one of the dancers in the kind of like the party at the beginning.
I should know that. That's my favorite giallo. So.
Yeah, she plays a doctor, like a doctor's assistant in Night Train Murders. Flesh for Frankenstein, she's like plays a big role.
Oh yeah. She's got a very familiar face. I know I've seen her and stuff.
Man, she's one of my favorite actresses. Like beautiful, but this is where it comes in. So her backstory is very interesting. So she's born in Udine, Italy. She's a former model, actress, and writer, known for her work in Italian cinemas during the 70s and 80s. A 1997 motorcycle accident in Rome caused a fractured atlas vertebrae, leading to chronic pain that pretty much put a halt to her acting career. She went on, but at one point, so she gave birth to a child called Christian, a young boy, when she was just 16 years of age. She doted on him. She was a single parent. She was doing, acting roles and all that while she's bringing up her child. And he died in a motorcycle accident as well, which is kind of eerie. Wow. And she said after that, she said, my will just fell apart, I lived my life for my son and all that. Now I think she's a devout Christian and she's getting, she's still alive and she's, but she's kind of distanced herself away from the whole, film
Hollywood
industry and all that.
Film industry, I mean.
Yeah. She does. She's a writer as well. She's done 2 autobiographies. So if you track them down, I would imagine they're pretty good. But she says through Christ now that her son is literally her angel and he's looking over her and he's guiding her in all the right, to get through that accident she had as well. Yeah. So he's kind of guided her through that. But I've got a couple more. I don't want to go too much on the cast because I don't want to bore people too much. because we've done it. We've almost done the Donald Pleasance thing.
Yeah.
Fiore, we kind of did Fiore as well. Argento's daughter. She was in The Card Player, Trauma, and Demons, as everyone would know. But the one actress I do want to mention is Sophie. So she's played by Federica Mastroianni. And what's interesting about her, again, very famous family. She's the daughter of editor Ruggero Mastroianni, and who's literally the younger brother of the famous Marcello Mastroianni. So she's the niece of Marcello. And she was only 16 when she did this film, and there's kind of a topless scene. I know you don't see it full on, you see it from the back.
That's what I was taking, like, you know, I've seen this a lot. I've seen this movie a lot, but like finding out why would he want nudity, you know, I don't understand. You know,
well, let's not forget that, you know, Asia Argento was just 16 when he filmed her in the shower in Trauma. So
it's just
it is kind of weird.
Yeah,
it is kind of weird.
Kind of irks me a little. I gotta be honest about that part of it, but you know,
the thing with her as well, she got again, she won a David Donatello Award for Best New Actress when she first came on the scene a few years before this.
Yeah,
which I'm surprised. I do like her role in this, but her acting is appalling. But I think it works. It's got like a charm.
I don't know. I'd like to have seen her do more. I don't mind her. I thought she was funny, like in, you know, some of the scenes, and
she's definitely a little bit older than Jennifer Connelly, though. You can tell.
Yeah,
just by the way she talks and everything, and do you know what I mean? But I'm guessing we could, you know, I've done the cast. We could go like head right on into the film.
Yeah, we don't need to go through Argento's filmography, do we, at this point?
No, man.
Yeah, I mean, because I can if y'all really want me to, you know. But
I think anyone watching this, I don't know if you want to get a few of the comments and then we'll dive into the film. I don't know if it's been any more comments or.
Yeah, people talking back and forth.
Okay.
Texas says, got a jet, catch the rest later. Thanks for the stream, gentlemen. Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
No worries, Tex, man. Appreciate the support.
We got we got 990 in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? What's
up? Always good to see you. Appreciate
it. Yeah. That's a Romero fan, I take it then by the name.
Yeah. Also, if y'all think about it, you know, might be doing some of this. Yeah.
Good old chicken Howard Ross there.
Howard Ross.
So, let's get into this now, man. So I want to really pick up this opening scene, right?
I did want to mention, so I did say, like, Argento did check himself into a clinic and everything, right? So when he returned home to Rome, he said he felt like a child. And that inspired him to put the film in the setting of a girl boarding house school or whatever. But he wanted to do that idea originally in Suspiria anyway.
He did, yeah.
He wanted it to be younger girls. He didn't want it to be 18, 19-year-old women, right?
Right, yeah. And you can tell that by the dialogue in Suspiria as well. They talk very fucking
and the way they stick their tongue out at each other and that one part, and just the way they act. And, but yeah, this is also kind of like, I mean, before we get into the film, so Suspiria would be more like a dark version of Snow White, right?
I can see that, yeah.
Where this, I feel like, is a dark, which Alice in Wonderland is pretty dark anyway. This is kind of like Alice in Wonderland in a way, I think. The fairy tale mix, but it's definitely his own version of that. I guess
it's one on its own. I will say that.
Yeah,
it's like,
but you see
nothing like this.
You do see some Alice in Wonderland themes. You see a lot of things from other ideas from other things, right? Other films and like the Blood and Black. I'd say Blood and Black Lace, even like the.
A lot of the scenes in this, which we'll come on to, are like rehashes of scenes that's been in Dario's other films, like Deep Red, you know?
Friday the 13th, though.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
I mean, Tenebrae, unmistakably Tenebrae, and at least
Suspiria, all over.
Yeah.
But I mean, Friday the 13th, I'd say Firestarter, Carrie.
Yeah.
in some of the things.
The Fury is another one I've heard.
Yeah. Jennifer. Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, let's go head on into this opening scene, right? So we open up, right? So we've got like excellent views of the Swiss Alps, and you've got like it's windy, and you've got an undercurrent of wind throughout the whole film, set in like the atmosphere. This young Danish tourist, Vera, which we find out later her name is Vera, played by Fiore Argento. She gets stranded in the middle of the Alps. She misses her bus. And then that amazing piece of music, Valley by Bill Wyman and Terry Taylor, kicks in.
Right.
Yeah, what a way to open a film. But what Argento does in this as well, so that in one of that opening scene, we see a crane shot that literally goes over the trees to show like the whole like isolation of this countryside in the middle of in the midst of Transylvanian Swiss Transylvania.
Swiss Transylvania. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got CK in here.
Hey, what's up, man?
990 says Romero's my favorite director. And
that makes sense.
CK says, "Hey balls, Phenomena was my introduction to Dario Argento films back in 2000." Awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
I know CK is big on this one. He's big on this one. For sure.
Yeah. It wasn't my first, believe it or not. I think Tenebrae might have been my first.
My first was Suspiria, but
yeah.
See, Night 90 says, "I just got Phenomena on 4K. I still haven't watched the movie yet."
Oh shit, man! Definitely do that.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the entire film, so you might want to come back and check this stream out after watching the movie, because we haven't gotten to spoiler territory yet. But yeah, we will get into that, and I will. I'll signal the warning when we do start spoilers. But
oh god, yeah, absolutely. We're gonna go through this scene for scene, so we are gonna be pretty in depth, and they're gonna be major spoilers.
Justin Marino says it's funny when Argento uses Motorhead and Iron Maiden at the worst moments. Yeah. The scene of somebody dies, it's so weird.
It's bizarre. Like Locomotive by Motorhead. Why would you play that when fucking Donald Pleasant's character dies?
Yeah.
Flash of the Blade, though, I think that works perfectly for this.
Well, he uses Flash of the Blade a couple times. The second time, it don't really go with what's going on. Like,
I don't know, man. I like it the second time as well. When she's trying to get the
first time, it does go, but like the second time, like that don't really make sense either. Like, I get what Marino's saying. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like with the phone.
I know what you mean, but for
we're
me,
gonna get into it. But I mean,
like just to say now, so the suspense in that opening obviously is superb. We follow this young girl then. She comes to this nearby house. She's looking for help. There's someone chained to the wall, and she gets attacked by these chains. Then a scissors goes through her hand.
Which you can tell that when that scissor goes through the hand, I mean, it looks cool at first, but then it stays there too long. The camera stays there a little too long because
I mean, yeah, like 4K doesn't do it, or like Blu-ray doesn't do it any favors, because you can see like it's a mechanical hand.
Yeah, and then there's no blood either. Like when the scissor hits that, but when she comes running out the house, she's got blood all over her hand and shit. I mean, that's picking it apart. That's from seeing it probably way too many times too.
I was going to say, so you've got to remember, this would probably be ideal to have watched on VHS. I don't think anyone would have realized that this is going to be in like high def or any time.
But I do think the camera was there too long, like regardless.
They linger. They do. Yeah. But she manages to get free. This is a great scene as well, where she's being chased like all around the grounds of this house.
It's great.
In waterfall.
Yeah. The cinematography is awesome.
Man.
Yeah. Going around the corridors and
like tunnels and shit, and like, so we get to see like these scissors, and literally these scissors go into her stomach, and then we get that fucking amazing slow motion.
Why is there just a window just you know, it's just a window there, like
That's
up in these mountains and shit, right? You know,
right?
like,
Yeah.
It's a random mirror just for a head to go through, you know.
And that's definitely a nod to Tenebrae. It fucking has to be a nod to Tenebrae where
Well,
a head
Four
goes through the
Flies.
window. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah.
Four Flies on Grey Velvet.
Yeah.
With that super slow motion, like the way, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. They used a special camera. I think it was like they had to get from Germany to do that scene.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the head gets decapitated and falls into this fucking stream. Oh, man. I mean, what a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's one of my favorite openings from an Argento film.
Yeah.
It's up there, and he always starts his films with a bang. But it gets fucking better, like literally a few minutes later, you know? So we get to see John McGregor now, played by Donald Pleasance, and he's got this.
Well, right after that, we see this damn chimpanzee, and you're like, and it's got a damn knife in its hand, and you're like, what the hell?
Oh, I think, yeah.
Scalpel, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, like, what the hell's up with this monkey with that? Like, it's like a red herring.
Right. It is, yeah. But we get to meet John McGregor, and he's being interviewed by the police. There's literally, obviously, a serial killer going around killing young girls. He's an entomologist. He helps them, you know, with their investigations. Not always successful, you know, because this killer has been out there for quite a while.
They've brought the head. Right?
They have, yeah.
They brought the head of the girl, so, and you see it's all rotted. It's nasty looking. Like, and I got to say, in this one, Argento, he ramps up the disgust level, right?
He does. You got the maggots like in this head.
I mean, you kind of got the maggots a little bit in Suspiria, but this one goes
full on. Yeah. With this as well, like if you first time watch this, there is little hints to who the killer could be. Like there's point of view shots where you realize that the killer, again, spoilers, but the killer can only be a certain height.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and do it since we're like, that way we can just be free to talk however we want.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I'm going to just go ahead and hit it for everybody. You know, let me see. Here we go.
Mother, this cloth smells of death.
And that's Nickelodeon screaming, by the way, at the end of Tenebrae.
Yeah. That's ironic, actually, to use that for this one.
Right.
But when I was saying there's like little hints to who the killer could be, we work out that this young girl was killed literally 8 months ago. They work out for all this kind of the flies and the maggots,
the larvae and all that shit.
Sarcophagus, I think, is the
great sarcophagus.
Right? Yeah, and that's a big kind of thing in this film.
Flesh-eating fly.
Yeah, the crime kind of, you know, you can tell within a matter of days when someone's been killed, which is kind of cool. So you've got Jennifer Corvino, we see for the first time, Jennifer Connelly. She's traveling to this academy in Switzerland with a chaperone, Fra Buckner, played by Dario Nicolodi. She's an American. She's got like a famous father, Paul Corvino, big film star. I think he's away in the Philippines at some point. You know, he's going to be away for a year. So she says it's kind of hard to get hold of him.
Which is kind of like the same. Well, like, so she don't have a picture of her father, right? She's got a poster. She's got a poster like everybody else.
Like a bag full of posters, I think it is. Yeah.
Like, so that kind of shows you the disconnect a little bit. And maybe Dario's definitely putting himself in this film. Like maybe because spending time with his daughters.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
No, absolutely. Yeah, this is based on Fiore, you know, his daughter. Right. We get to see the interesting scene with her opening scene is the bee in the car, where they filmed. I think they had the bee on. They had the clip. I think the sting, and they had it on a piece of string, I believe.
From what I heard, that was I don't know how this would be done, but like, that they sedated the bee? How the hell do you do that?
Maybe, yeah.
I was like,
Topsy
what
was
the shit?
involved.
How do you sedate a bee though? Like, how does that work?
I know they clipped some of his sting, because if you clip the whole sting, it dies.
Yeah.
And Luigi Cozzi, who we said earlier, he was the main guy filming all this.
Yeah, they were
shit
doing all
the insects.
Doing all the
Yeah,
insects.
it's a great scene. But then the music theme kicks in. So you've got the operatic lady singing in the music theme. And then the narrator tells us that she's arrived at Richard Wagner's International School for Girls. And you get that fucking Suspiria vibe. Because there's a scene of Suspiria exactly the same. It's even the same narration, which Dario did in the Italian version, I believe.
Right.
You
want me to play that clip? I do have another clip. It's kind of long though. If y'all are ready, or do you want to just kind of hold off?
What's in the clip? Are we going to mention the scene coming up, or?
Yeah. Well, I could wait.
It's up to you. I don't mind either way.
Yeah. Well, I'll play it because I could play it up to that part anyway.
Play it. We can still talk about it anyway. It's no problem.
It's cool. All right. Here we go.
It won't hurt me. Insects never hurt me. I love them.
You love them?
Yes. I love all insects.
And so Jennifer arrives in Switzerland from the New World to pass her first memorable night at the Richard Wagner International School for Girls.
So you think the glove belonged to the killer?
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Perhaps to some other questions as well.
Oh, it's all right. I know the way.
Hey, Jennifer, listen!
What?
I'm a spider! Speak and you shall be obeyed.
No.
No!
Stop it!
I'm a killer spray. Death to all insects! Now that's enough, girls!
I love you. I love you all.
Yeah, man. Fucking awesome scenes.
That's I know that's kind of like ahead of where we're at, but I just want to mention, like, I just found this out. Like that scene where all the flies are on the glass.
Mm.
They bred those flies in between double pane glass. So
yeah, double glazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they hatched, they were there. I was like, that's wild as shit. Like how they did.
Yeah, they had a trouble getting rid of them as well at the end of filming. I think
Imagine shit.
Cotsy let the guy let them free, and they all congregated on a building opposite one of the famous film studios in Rome. But yeah, just like we can talk about those scenes now anyway, it's no problem.
Yeah.
So Jennifer meets her French roommate Sophie. The headmistress is there. She's very strict, played by Dalia de Lazaro, we mentioned. Sophie is a huge fan of her father's films. She tells her at one point, didn't she, I know everything about you. I kind of know. But then Jennifer tells her, well, I bet you don't know this. And she tells her the very sad story of her mother leaving to go and be with her lover and leaving her and her father pretty much on Christmas Eve, I believe, or Christmas Day. There's a lot of feeling in this film as well, I find. A lot of emotional scenes. Because she says at one point as well, Sophie says to her, so what do you think about, she mentions the serial killer and all that, but she goes, what do you think about before you go to sleep? And she says, my father. And I've like really touching scene. I find, she's not going to see him for another year, at least in the Philippines.
Yeah, she's got to call a damn lawyer to find out anything about her father, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So Sophie tells her there's this killer on the loose, and he preys on young girls their age. But then, bang! Again, you've got another fucking great scene. You've got the flash of the blade Iron Maiden plays. You've got the young girl Gisela, played by Florenza Tazzari. She's being chased by the killer you've just seen in the clip, who has a spear on the end of like a blade on the end of a spear. You see Jennifer, she kind of sleepwalks literally while all this is going on.
It's like a custom made weapon.
Yeah,
looks like,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's fucking killer, man. But while she's sleepwalking, she kind of sees the aftermath to this girl being killed. But she said, like, her head just comes crashing through a fucking window again, like the beginning of the film.
Right. But so right before, like, of course I got to clip it because, the law, the YouTube law, they're going to get on my ass if I don't. So, but we're looking at that door, and it pauses for a good while she's looking at that door. That should remind me of Suspiria. Like,
it is. Yeah.
Like Sarah at the very end of Suspiria coming through I know it's different, like, cause she's Marcos is controlling her, but yeah, it definitely does. And then
you're spot on, man.
The Argento face crash through the glass, all that's a signature. I mean, it's how many times in this film? I mean,
God, there's twice now in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah,
but the spear ends up going through her head and out of her mouth, which is just such a great kill scene. And all this is like the first 20 minutes of the film.
Right.
So Jennifer's in this trance, and she, like we showed then, she's hanging off fucking buildings, a school building. But then there's a weird scene where she gets knocked over. She's like in this trance. She still hasn't really woken up, I don't think. But she gets knocked down in the car by these two young German boys, you could call them, I guess.
And it's like they're trying to take advantage of her, right?
Well, yeah, it's not spelled out, but I mean, yeah, it does look.
That's the vibe I got. Like,
yeah, because they kind of hold her in this car, and she's kind of struggling to get free, and she kind of manages to get free. She tumbles out and goes down like in this forest, like down this hill, and they're like just shitting themselves. They're like, "Oh, we should go," Is she all right? Is she all right? They don't give a fuck, I doubt, but
yeah, they were up to no good for sure,
But that's the good in. Oh yeah, I believe so as well. But it's never spelled out.
Mm-hmm.
This film's not. It's dark, I believe, but it's not as dark as Suspiria.
No.
But that scene kind of really so we get to see her where she meets the chimpanzee Inga, and then there's a great kind of bond between the two of them.
Inga, like,
go on.
Do you think that because of her ability, right? She has this power. Do you think that Inga's just drawn to her naturally, like the insects? I
think it's the animal magnetism.
That's why she finds her, right? and then brings her to the doctor, like to the professor. I mean,
right. So Inga, like you say, is a very intelligent monkey. She kind of senses that Jennifer's in trouble, I think, and but no, I think you're spot on. I think there's definitely
that'd have been interesting to see
connection.
if Inga would have, if them guys would have pursued her, and then Inga got on them, right?
Inga with the old fucking scalpel, or like
that'd have been
straight razor.
That'd have been great,
fun.
right?
Oh yeah. She meets John McGregor though, and she's obviously got this big thing with insects.
Yeah, he's kind of like a father to her, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it's not a dirty man kind of deal or anything.
Oh no, it's not even implied like
Right.
anything like that. He's got she reminds him of a girl that used to work for him, who got literally got killed by, went missing, and they think it's been killed by this killer. So he kind of warms to her in that way. Her relationship with the monkey, you can see she's so calm in those scenes, and but that was to like come to.
You don't see many scenes with her and the monkey though, and
no, because there's one scene,
and also some of the scenes you do see her with the monkey is not really her, so it's a double.
They had a double because she got totally freaked out. Well, I might have well mentioned the scene now. So they go in a stair lift. Inga takes her in a stair lift. Oh, I say her, like Inga. I don't know if I presume it's a fucking girl.
Tanga.
Yeah, Tanga. Yeah, it gets confusing. But apparently, I've heard two versions of this story. Apparently, when they were going up the stair lift, it jolted, and that's when Inga bit Jennifer Connelly's finger. But then I've heard that it happened later on.
I heard it bit the finger off, but I heard that same story as well.
Yeah, the top of the finger was bitten, kind of hanging off. But I heard that it happened one of the last scenes as well, when Daria Nicolodi's being attacked by the chimp. So I don't know. I presume it depends who you believe on the documentary. But I tend to believe the stair lift story because a jolt would do that, I think.
And they edited the way it's edited. You can't tell. Like they just look happy going up that stair lift and getting off of it. Right. So I don't know how that works.
That's what I mean. She looks so like there's a really great scene without jumping the gun, the final shot, where she's so calm with this monkey. But you can see why that freaked her out, and she didn't. She said to Dario, I don't want no more scenes with the monkey after that, which is fair enough, I guess,
Right. Let me catch these comments right quick.
Yeah.
Justin Marino says, excuse me. He says, this is off topic, but I bought Street Law and another High Crime on Amazon. High Crime was $12. We need more EuroCrime streams. Yeah.
They're coming. They're definitely coming. We've got a few that we could do in mind because we're just dipping our toes into that. That's a subject I want to cover, a lot of times as well.
And then we got Deer Hunter. What are your thoughts on Cannibal Apocalypse? Well, we do have we did cover some Deodato, and it is on our channel. This channel right here, Subjective Perspective Collective. If you want to check that out, we did a live on Deodato and Cannibal Apocalypse. Or no, I'm thinking.
No, you're talking about
Cannibal Holocaust. Damn.
Yeah. We got Antonio Margheriti.
We do have Cannibal Apocalypse coming up very soon.
In 2 weeks, is it? I believe 2 or 3 weeks. No, that's all right, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, it messed me. I was thinking Deodato, but yeah, that's going to be on the 8th of June 8th. We'll be covering some cannibal films. So, yeah,
Man from Deep River as well.
Yep. And we got Visited by Voices Network. Lauren, he says, Phenomena is always a frustrating watch for me. It's a dark fairy tale for sure, but it lacks a sense of dreaminess, which is why Suspiria and Inferno work so much better. My opinion only.
I've heard Lauren say that as well in the past. And that's, I mean, I thought Phenomena would have been like Lauren would have been 100% loving
I mean, he says it lacks a sense of dreaminess. I don't know, though. Like, for me,
I think it's got a sense of dreaminess. It definitely has throughout, I think, but...
Yeah, with the score and like the Goblin score, and I don't know, it's in the Bill Wyman stuff going on. Like it looks kind of like a music video, like you know what I mean, in some of those segments from the 80s.
I can see how it doesn't click with some people, though. I can actually see that.
I mean, compared to Suspiria, it's kind of hard. Like I think Suspiria definitely is. The whole film feels like a damn nightmare, right? You know.
Yeah.
This one it's kind of disjointed though, like because it's so many things in a bag, like thrown together. But it works for me. I don't know, but
yeah, it works 100% for me as well. But I've heard that a lot of people say that actually, that it doesn't quite work for them. But that saddens me because I think this is fucking superb.
Let's see, and we got Weston Warner had a fly in my coffee today about puke. Yeah, I heard that.
Gotta do that.
That shit sucks, man. I've had it. Yeah, it always sucks when you get a fly. Let's see. He says I'll check it out. Cool, man. But yeah, I really dig a Cannibal Apocalypse. That's a killer film.
Oh man, it's so different to the other films too, as well.
Right.
Because it's set in suburbia.
Way different cannibal film. He says perfect, awesome. Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody in here, man. If you think about it, you know, do the things and do the things and do the. Yeah. See how many times I'm. All right.
Oh, there you go. Lawrence just said now. Don't get me wrong. I like it, but it's just not top tier Argento. I can understand that.
Okay.
Definitely understand that.
I got you. Yeah.
We're definitely going to be getting Lorne on again soon at some point. I love talking with Lorne, man. But yeah, just again, visited by Voices Network. If you're not kind of sub to them, go over there. There's some great stuff. Region 3 that we're lucky enough we got the chance to be on.
Yeah, we go on Region 3. We do the Dead End Drive-In
with Dan, Flash Wound Features. So
there's several other collaborators doing their things as well. So
yeah,
check that out.
Absolutely. But so you've got John McGregor then, with Jennifer, he realizes she's just special. She literally can.
Well, he sees the reaction of all the insects.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He's like, they've never done this. They've never done this. And I know what that guy's talking about. Do you have that artwork? Because that's the artwork I remember seeing back in the video store days. It was like half her face is eaten off.
Yeah, didn't it?
But
that was the cover for Creepers one,
yeah. It was Creepers back in the day, man. And it's not in none of this artwork that I got in this release, the Synapse. But like that's what I remember seeing in the video store.
Yeah, it's not on this either. But I remember that because I've got like a Fangoria with that.
That's killer. That's some killer artwork. But
it is. I
don't know why they it don't really make sense if you think about it, because I mean they're gonna eat her face off, but it still looked killer back in the day in the VHS days. So.
Oh yeah. But when you mentioned this, like it's got kind of a greatest hits I've heard people say of Argento films. So we get Jennifer. She has like an ECG. I think I'm not jumping the gun, am I? I think I'm right where I am. Yeah. So she gets like an ECG. There's like a hospital scene.
Yeah.
And they're definitely ripping off fucking Exorcist 2 as well.
Well, some of the shit she says too, though, right? Like the dialogue there is kind of weird. Like she's saying, "You think I'm crazy, or you think I'm?" What did she say? It's so silly though when what it said.
I know.
Like, you think I'm crazy, or you think I'm stoned? I don't know. It's the way that she delivers those lines. It's hilarious. Like
the dialogue, yeah.
I laugh at it every time. I'm like, what
like
the hell?
A 14-year-old dialogue probably would be, but the headmistress absolutely hates her, like, doesn't she, with a passion. And I tried to get all the school pretty much against her at some point.
So that kind of does play off. Like he's using, I think he's using that maybe as a red herring in a way.
Yeah.
With the headmistress, right?
Oh yeah. Because you start thinking of Suspiria, don't you?
Suspiria, right? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a classroom scene in this with the headmistress, right? And I've never heard anyone mention this, right? So we got Sophie. She's in class with Jennifer, and Sophie gets called out for because she's not, she's kind of not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So Sophie stands up, and then Jennifer tells her,
What
the
to
answers
say.
to this question.
Yeah.
That is directly ripped off from Last American Virgin. It's exactly the fucking same. It's the same dialogue, everything. Because
Okay.
Victor, I think Victor.
I still haven't seen that film. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a character Victor, and he tells the Lawrence Monison's character what to say, and it is completely lifted from that. And then you got like Bee Gees references and Richard Gere and all that. I take it Dario wanted to become like part of the times and hip, kind of all that.
Yeah.
But you've got another kick-ass sequence as well now. So you got Sophie going to meet her boyfriend in the middle of the night, and again you've got the wind in the trees. Like Dario showed like a bit.
And she's definitely putting on that Armani shirt, right, with the gold eagle on the back.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Throughout, everyone's wearing fucking like the headmistress as well is wearing like Armani fucking dresses and shit.
Right.
But what's so great about this scene is she goes. The killer is actually watching her as she meets her boyfriend. But then Sophie is chased through the woods by the killer with the spear. Jennifer, again, she goes into the, she's in fucking sleepwalking trance. She manages to wake herself up. And she hears Sophie screams. And that's where the theme plays. And you got Jennifer then. She walks the grounds of the school outside. A firefly, which is a great fucking sequence, man, gets her attention and kind of leads her to the way the killer
lures her to the glove.
Yeah. And that was done with animation.
Yep.
And it looks so good, man.
It does.
For the time, the effect
it still looks good, I think.
Yeah.
I think it still holds up.
How did you feel about so there is CGI when she's in the dream sequence earlier on. You know what I mean? When you see this complete CGI, like going down corridors, I think it is. That's roughly what you had on in the background then.
Yeah, it's not CGI though, right?
Is it CGI? I don't even know what it was.
Well, they didn't have all that back then,
Right. So it's some kind of computer sort of generated thing, though. I mean, it might not be called CGI.
Right.
I know Stendhal syndrome takes you out of the game a little bit.
Yeah, that's when it's first cranking out. That
was the first time. So that was 96. This was what, 85. So yeah. No, I think it works for that dream sequence. That's why I mentioned it. I do think it actually works. There you go. It's in the background now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've got
that's used in like jails and lighting and
yeah.
It's I got to mention Mario Bava, man, because he's
oh god, yeah,
he's the one that started a lot of that kind of shit, So
absolutely, yeah. Maybe was there maybe animation involved in those scenes too?
Yeah, with the fireflies, definitely animation.
Yeah,
I think Stivoletti wanted to do stop motion, and Argento's like, no, we're not doing stop motion.
He's saying piss, man, in his interview, Stivoletti. He's like, so he mentions how Dario, he wanted to be on set, like location shooting, but Dario wouldn't let him, or Dario said, just kind of literally make the effects in your studio or whatever. Right. And I seen him on an interview he did for the recent opera, and I sense a little bit of needle between Stivoletti and Argento that maybe they're not as cool as they once were, but that's just me. You pick up on these things, don't you?
Probably a clash of ideas,
creative ideas.
And Dario is very, very, I would imagine, with the effects and everything, he probably wants it exactly like his way,
Oh yeah, he fell out with a few people on this film I've seen as well. But so she takes the glove to McGregor. She tells him about the firefly, leading her to this glove. And that's when she gets this adverse reaction to the insect she's near. And like you said earlier, they kind of almost feel like they're sexually excited by her.
One of them starts doing a mating call.
And
he explains that it's not even that time of year for them to do that, you know.
Yeah, it's completely. Yeah, she's at one with these insects.
Which I'm
Completely
glad
at
they
one.
never explained on it, like why, you know, like just that's great. Don't tell me. I don't need to know why.
You don't need something on this, a film of this context. You don't need to know fucking backstories and shit. It's just it is what it is. You're gonna probably love this film.
And the mystery of the wind throughout the film. So
Yeah.
there's like a whole backstory on the wind. I'm sure Argento dug into that. So supposedly, like in different parts of the world with the wind and everything, where people go crazy. Some kind of scientific, I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I know people believe that to be true, that the wind does something and changes people, like the
That's
Santa Ana
hinted,
winds. Yeah, the Santa Ana winds, like in California. People have gone mad during that time, and it's just either it's a coincidence or there's something to it. But
I think that's hinted in the film that the wind might have something to do with why this killer. It's not
right.
like you say, it's not spelled out for you, but
no, but it's definitely a character
there.
in its own right. So
Oh yeah, it's there for sure.
Yeah.
But we've got the scene there where Jennifer gets bullied by the girls in the school. That's a great scene that we just saw. And they're stealing letters she's writing to her father, and they're being like really
going through her
mean.
diary.
And, making fun of her almost, because
right.
she's saying about how at one with these insects she is.
Chris says, got Chris saying, "Evening Savages, slap the like, damn it." Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Chris, man? Hope all's well.
He says, love Suspiria and Inferno. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fucking, yeah. Big time.
And then Lauren says, the collapse of the Italian film industry in the mid-90s left all the creatives really bitter. They all talk shit about each other at the drop of a hat. Yeah. And I mean,
do. Yeah.
They do that. I love watching all those interviews because they slam the shit out of each other.
There's only a few that really got on.
Yeah.
Umberto Lenzi being like,
Martino don't talk as much shit. He still talks a little bit, but not as bad as like Lenzi or Fulci or Argento. Well, Argento, he don't talk too bad. Argento's kind of tame compared to Fulci and Lenzi.
Yeah. But Fulci and Lenzi, surprisingly, didn't they get on? I think they got on.
Yeah, they're good friends.
Which you wouldn't kind of believe. But in terms of Lorne's comment there, I love the Stendhal syndrome. I know Lorne's not a massive fan of the Stendhal syndrome. I've got a little bit of a thing for these kind of Italian 90s films, like horror films or made-for-TV films.
Stendhal.
There's something about them I like, man.
Well, Stendhal took me a few times, as you know, to...
I kept pushing Dirk. So that's the backstory to this one. So Dirk watched Stendhal, and he was like, no, I don't really like this.
I hated it the first time. Yeah.
And I kept saying, give it another watch, but you probably won't even like it on the second watch. Keep going.
Well, we reviewed it too. So
yeah.
Then I dug more into the backstory on the actual Stendhal syndrome, and then I started seeing things, what Argento had said and all his research that he did, and the city of Florence in Italy, which was pretty interesting. So then it just clicked for me right after that, and I was like, "Holy shit, yeah!"
Surprise! Said it on these streams,
and it's ambiguous. Stendhal's still an ambiguous film. I don't care what people say.
It's almost like two films. Stendhal.
Yeah, because you could look at it two different. Like, is there really so? Anyway, I'm not going to get into Stendhal. Like, never mind.
But if anyone's
anyone's
watching this and's not seen Stendhal, then definitely Asia Argento, I think, makes that film what it is, and it's the nastiest Argento film ever made. Like some of the content.
Okay, he's saying I love Stendhal syndrome. Last great Argento, Black Glasses was a return to form, but a different feel entirely. Yeah, I'm glad that glad he did Black Glasses, Dark Glasses, Black Glasses, instead of Dracula being his last. I'm glad at least he got that one out.
So yeah, I might have got that wrong then with Stendhal with Lorne. Does Lorne like Trauma? Is it? I know there's one that he wasn't fussed about. Might be Trauma.
Stendhal
maybe
is about self-blame and victimhood. It's an amazing film.
Oh, there you go. I got that wrong. That makes me even happier.
Chris says I like Stendhal quite a bit. Yeah.
I love the first time I saw Stand On, I'm like, I just loved everything about it. That's her. I think that's one of her best performances too.
It took me 3 times. Took me 3 times.
I can see that. Yeah, man.
That's just how it worked for me anyway. So
I can definitely see that. But we've got the scene then, we've got Jennifer being bullied in the school. Like you say, they're stealing her letters. You got that great shot there, Luigi Cozzi created with coffee grounds. That was actually done by Mario Bava in an earlier film. And that's why he got the idea to put the coffee grounds and they mix it with the film. And it looks like the swarm of flies are just descending on the school.
It's a static shot of the school,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then they filmed coffee grounds in water, or like in a pool, right? In the water.
Yeah.
And then superimpose that over the school. Yeah, it's very effective. Like
Dario wasn't convinced because Luigi Cozzi said to Dario, I think I've got this idea where we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And Dario wasn't convinced, but when he come back and he sent him like the daily rushes or the actual scene on film, Dario was ecstatic. Like he was like, "Yeah, you really got that working, man."
Yeah.
It is trauma. It is trauma. I'm thinking of with Lorne.
Yeah, trauma doesn't feel like Argento at all. Could have been directed by anyone.
Okay,
isn't it filmed in Minnesota too?
It's in Minnesota. Yeah, it's
only one he shot in America, right?
No, he did Two Evil Eyes before.
Well,
but
he did.
Well,
that's Romero too, though. Like,
I suppose you could technically say it's his first full film in America. But then he got disillusioned with America, didn't he? And he just realized that everyone just wants to see him do giallo films in Italy, basically, and he went back to that. But no, I knew there was one, Lorne. I definitely knew that.
He got Piper Laurie on for that one, and thinking that it was going to ramp up the film and Savini as well, but it didn't do too well, right?
It didn't do well at all. It almost plays out like a slasher, doesn't it? It's kind of like a slash. I actually like the.
Now, would you consider this one a giallo? Because I feel like it's more like a slasher. This one.
This one's a giallo fantastique, I would call it. So it's kind of a fantasy giallo.
Yeah.
But I can see why people would call it a slasher.
It's a mixed bag, though, to say the least.
It is. It's completely different to anything else, in his catalog.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, do you know when she's being bullied by the girls, the headmistress actually comes out and says she calls her diabolic.
Because of the whole, and also you get the vibes of the flies, when they're on the windows. I did anyway from Amityville Horror.
There's Lord of the Flies. I think she calls
maybe the Swarm. You ever seen the Swarm?
Yeah. I think that was where the idea come from. Cozzi was saying, but the Bible also refers to the devil as the Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
I don't know. Is that actually true?
Beelzebub.
Yeah, I mispronounced it. Yeah, Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Yeah.
So that is actually true, is it?
Lord of the Flies. Yeah, Beelzebub.
Because they call her Lady of the Flies, don't they? In this film.
Right.
So literally she escapes from the school then, doesn't she? She's all wired up to like these kind of hospital bed type thing. She goes to McGregor and he shows her the larvae of the great sarcophagus, where inside the glove, pretty much is the human remains of one of the victims.
Right.
That's when they come up with this idea then, don't they? To literally use that to track down the killer.
He tells her that he has the two greatest detectives that the world has ever known, her and the great sarcophagus.
Yeah. I mean, like the storyline to this, and if you told someone the storyline to this, they probably laugh at you.
Yeah.
Because you can't take anything like completely serious with the plot or anything like that.
No.
But I think it's just a cool idea, isn't it?
It is.
Got, to track down a serial killer with the use of a fucking.
And it's like really just going for the, it's really going for the swinging for the fences, man. Not worrying about Like that's the vibe I get from Argento on this film. It's like he's not worried. He's gonna do what he's gonna make what he wants to make on this one. You know?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Let's see, we got Synthetic. He says, "Hey, all, Phenomena is cool, good score, but the science facts in the film are a bit dicey, of course." Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially the is it the EKG scene?
ECG, yeah.
ECG, EKG, ECG. Oh. Acres of Movies, yo, hello and thanks. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
And my cousin's movie, I'll Watch You Die, was purchased at Cannes. Cool.
Okay, I've not heard of that one.
Enjoying the discussion and thanks for the program. Have a terrific evening. Appreciate you.
That sounds like a Giallo film, is it? Like, you'll have to let us know.
I'll Watch You Die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomena doesn't feel pulpy enough for me to call it a giallo, but the grisly aspects contrast harshly against the fantasy elements. It just feels mushy and unresolved, but again, I still dig it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's a mixed bag. I'd say it's closer to slasher though, for me, but
I can, I mean, for me, it's definitely fantasy giallo. And there's not too many of them about, like.
Right.
So
you could say deep red, paranormal,
Well, yeah, there's
paranormal because of her ability and all that shit, I don't know.
Well, the one scene in this that we kind of been through with the young girl getting killed, it's kind of like the opening to Deep Red where you've got the psychic gets killed. Do you know what I mean? With the window.
Yeah.
In Deep Red.
Yep. Deep Red. Yeah.
So he's definitely picking off parts from his other films.
But he's picking.
That's undeniable. You can't argue that fact.
And also, Synth brings up the rotten pit of corpses. That brings me back in the mind of Poltergeist.
That's sure.
I would even say that when that pit scene, it kind of reminds me of Star Wars. Like in the
I've not heard of
very
that
first Star Wars, man. Yeah, where they're in the trash and shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's see. Lauren says, "Love the shirt, by the way, Dirt."
House of
Laughing
Laughing
Windows is the best giallo period. Okay.
It really is. It really
appreciate you. Yeah, appreciate you.
That's coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah. We have covered that on the channel with a couple other Poopy Avati.
Yeah.
Let's see. Synth says, they're talking. I'll hold off on the comments for now.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry.
So this is where we get the music then. The music piece Valley from Bill Wyman kicks in again. So she goes out to the countryside. She kind of feels like something happening around the bus stop where this young girl went missing. She gets off and she's led up to this house by this firefly or the grey sarcophagus.
Mm-hmm.
But on the bus, did you notice there's someone on the bus? And we see the back of someone with like a dark hat. We're not sure who we are at this point, whether someone's following her.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of, I don't think it's completely spelled out, really, if you think about it, because it could be the policeman, it could be, but he turns up in a car, so I wasn't really sure. But is it the headmistress, maybe?
It's weird. Yeah.
It's never spelled, like you say, it's never really told. You're never really told who it is.
Right.
Whether there was another scene that maybe there was going to be filmed for that.
I think it was. I think there was. Right.
Because it kind of, this is where it gets disjointed a little bit.
So the Italian cut is the longest cut. What's it, 100 and then 110 minutes? 113 minutes. And I think it's 3 minutes difference between the international.
It is, yeah.
So it's 3 minutes from the international, and then we already mentioned Creepers is like almost a half hour shorter. So
easily, yeah.
But yeah, some of these scenes in the Italian though, like could have been cut like a little bit,
I just think New Line butchered it really, just to like get it out in the
The international is the sweet spot for sure. So
that's the only version I'll watch now, to be honest with you.
I watched all three. this go around. But well, we've had like a month to do it, so I watched like all 3 cuts. So
I was going to say, so this is the part where like story gets a little bit disjointed. You know, we've got the part with the estate agent. Like, you know, when she's in the house, a man jumps out on her and tells her the house is up for sale and why she's snooping around. And you got that great scene with the fly, with the
another
floorboard.
red herring, like the dude, the way he's coming at her, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of weird too, like pervy in a way, right?
It kind of doesn't fit with the film.
Yeah,
I don't think
I think it's useless.
Stands out like,
but it is kind of pervy the way he's acting. Like he's trying to grab her and shit. Like what are you doing, dude? Like get the hell away. But I don't know.
And that's where we see the fucking human hand with the maggots under the floorboards, where the fly's like attracted to.
Right.
I
do got the one clip, but like you want to, I'll hold off on it.
What?
I only got one more. I just got one more.
Okay.
It's like basically the rest of the film, like you know, pieced together. Like
okay, no problem. That's where the cop shows up as well, and he's kind of like disjointed, like doesn't really fit with the film. You know, he shows up and he's kind of like investigating what's going on, but it's a nothing kind of character. Yeah, like a nothing character.
Like the detective. I mean, he technically, you know, does his part, I guess you'd say, but no.
What a stupid policeman to put himself in that situation where, well,
that's probably him on the bus then, I imagine.
But it's weird because he pulls up in a car, I think.
No, that's true. No, you're right.
So
you're right.
I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's the headmistress maybe, and she's not got off the bus, because you don't see anyone get off the bus. You just see Jennifer get off the bus, and then like one of the women wants to close the window and all that. I do actually think that's a scene maybe that they didn't do, but so we're up to the point then where you get Inga gets, this is a great scene too, gets locked out of the house, but the silhouette of the killer is so fucking goofy, man. You can tell the killer's like 3 foot fucking tall. Like just through point of view shots as well, which I was going to mention.
Yeah,
you can work out, you know, you can pretty much work out what's going on through little clues throughout the film. Well, and it don't
give you the information.
No, and it does look a little bit hokey when
you know what I'm saying though. Like that's why I got to argue that it's not really giallo, because it does kind of like what the original Friday the 13th does, right? It don't tell you everything. It tells you a little bit, but not really. Like it don't give it to you like most giallo, like 50% of the time you see the killer at least 50% of the film, you know.
It's done in dark silhouette, the killer, but like I mentioned
or
earlier,
you see something like chains or something like you know, shit like that, but you don't never really till we get toward the end, right?
But McGregor gets killed, doesn't he, with the spear? So, but mentioning about the look of the killer, you don't get this film if we don't get Don't Look Now from '73. You just do not get this film. Daryl must have been a huge fan. Yeah. Just the look, you know, of the killer. And he was done, the actor to that as well, that plays the young boy. He's got some interesting stories too. He was like, when he had to go through hell literally when they were molding his face. And
I imagine, dude, all them damn insects and shit.
Yeah, man, like that one scene towards the end in the boat. Oh man. But so Inga kind of, you know, she breaks back into McGregor's house where she's been locked out by the killer, of course. But this is a scene I want to mention to you. It's so funny. So the killer, right, with the black gloves and everything, they drive away, or someone's driving the killer away, I should say, if you know how the film goes towards the end.
Right.
But the fucking monkey gets on the roof of the car, and you can quite clearly tell it's a fucking puppet at one point.
Yeah, you can, but I mean,
it's so funny, man.
It's still great. It's still great.
And then when Inga falls off the car, it's quite clearly someone's just picked this fucking monkey up and just thrown it.
Yeah, just kind of.
Like,
but I mean, it lays like the way it falls is real delicate almost.
Yeah,
you know?
but someone has literally thrown that with their
Yeah.
hands. You can tell, like literally
Right.
2 seconds before that shot. And again, you know, it's phenomenal. I don't take anything too serious with this one. It's just,
Yeah, this is
I
popcorn.
love it for all its bad parts as well.
It's
you know,
popcorn. Turn your brain off, kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like
you got the scene then with Motorhead's Locomotive. Why the fuck do you play after
No.
like one of the main principal characters?
That's
has
probably
been
my
killed?
biggest gripe of the whole film. Yeah,
It just doesn't go, man. It just
don't
does
make
not
sense.
seem.
Like there's other parts of the film you could have used that song. You know, like
But
not that
wow,
part.
funny.
Not the part where like you have this established like these the professor, right, John,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like her only one that she has left. Her, you know, she's got this strong bond with him. You're gonna play some Motorhead Locomotive, like
Wouldn't like the theme music with the operatic woman singing would have
Right.
made that scene so touching, like the way
Right.
it should have been.
yeah,
This is just fucking bizarre, but
it don't make no sense.
it is what it is. At this
That's
point,
Argento
you know.
though, like you know.
Yeah, he was
he
a
has
massive
some
fan.
questionable decisions sometimes. Like you know,
Well, he was a massive metal fan. He was saying in the
right,
interview.
but damn, man, it don't make sense though. Like, I mean,
I've heard people say though with opera as well that they don't like the metal. I love the metal in opera, but
no, I
it's
love
just
metal, but I love the
that
metal,
scene.
and I like the songs. I like all the music in this movie, but it just don't fit. You know. in
So I
that
meant
scene.
to ask you about Iron Maiden's Flash of the Blade, yeah?
Right.
Was that just like a happy accident? Because obviously that came off the Power Slave album.
Mm.
That wasn't written for this film, was it? But I don't know. Do you know that?
I just think it's because it was, it was popular at the time.
So they just got lucky.
So that's
with
a
the
year
actual-
prior. Yeah, Power
Yeah.
Slave's a year prior to this, or probably the same time this is being made.
Okay.
And,
So
you know what
they
I'm saying?
literally got lucky with the title Flash of the Blade and they decided to use that. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense more than like Maiden going out of their way to like write.
No, I don't.
You know
I
what
don't
I
think that was made for this movie. No.
Okay. But
Yeah,
I
dude.
love Power Slave as well, man. I love that.
Yeah,
album.
yeah, hell yeah. Shit, yeah.
But yeah, so we're coming on to now, and we got the whole backstory, mine with Frau Buckner. With so she was working in a mental hospital at the time, and it's implied that she
No,
got
it's not
raped.
implied. It's pretty much said that she was raped.
Yeah, she got raped by one of the inmates held, and obviously the offspring to that is a young deformed son.
Right. With that, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So this is where the policeman comes in, like the cop, and he's been doing the investigative work, and he kind of works it out a little bit too late. But like you say, he's one of the dumbest fucking cops you'll ever see in a film. Man.
He is, but
So,
yeah.
and how does that work? You know, she kind of like a 3-foot fucking dwarf and a like middle-aged woman got him kind of captive at one point. And he's chained to the fucking wall. Yeah, man, that's defies.
Hey man, that dude might be stronger than you think.
Well, yeah, it is quite funny when you think he's put himself in that predicament, but God, she's trying to get back to America, obviously, at this point. She tells Morris, doesn't she, over the phone that someone's trying to kill her, Jennifer, that is. And then you've got the shot of Inga then finding the straight razor in the bin, which comes into play later on. Frau Buckner, she turns up at the bank. She gets Jennifer. She tells her, like, there's no flight until tomorrow to go back, spend the night with her. And she's all nice about it at first, you know, like a chaperone, obviously. But then she just completely fucking turns for no reason either. Like, completely turns on her when she's back at the house. You know, she's trying to get her to take fucking poison pills. And
oh, well, that's
like,
I mean, she's playing a role right there. Like when she's being nice about it, you know?
right. So do you think the whole kind of thing is to get her back to the house
Yeah,
so the young
definitely.
boy can kill.
Definitely.
Because you've got the scenes where all the mirrors are like blocked in there where the young boy doesn't want to look at his like reflection and all that. You've got the longest telephone line in fucking history when she's trying to get out of the room and she's trying to fish out the fucking telephone with the line and it goes underground. It goes on forever, man. The actual cord of that telephone.
And that's what I'm talking about. That scene when Jennifer's in the other room and she puts something by the window or whatever, or like through is it a vent?
It's like it's kind of a little bit bigger than a vent. You can kind of get your upper torso through there.
Like a return or something. Like a return. So she's trying to go through there. She sees the phone. She gets a cane, right, or something. She's trying to twist the phone line, trying to pull the phone line to her, and then the phone goes down the hole. And that shit right there reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. Like when that phone goes down that hole and the way she looks and everything, the way she's dressed, and like, but that is the part where I'm saying the Iron Maiden don't go right there. That shit makes no sense. I mean, I love the music, but it don't match what the hell's going on.
It's more inclined to work with the kill scenes in it, like you get at the beginning. I do like it in that scene. I know it's like
I do too. I can't help it because I love Iron Maiden, but it's kind of not as worse as the Motorhead thing though. Like that's just weird.
No, not at all. Not at all. And like you say, when that phone goes kind of underground, it like reminds me of the beginning where you've got kind of the underground or the tunnels where that first victim's running through, Fiore. But yeah, I mean, you've got I just mark.
And then she just goes for it, right? She just goes down the hole and after the phone, and like you're saying, it's the longest damn phone ever, and it's strong ass phone line too, man. Like she's just,
It is. It really is. But Buckner obviously attacks Jennifer, doesn't she? And she catches her trying to use the phone. She knocks her out before that, doesn't she? Before the scene.
Oh yeah. We kind of skipped a little.
But yeah, Jennifer hears a scream of this fucking cop. We presume we don't know it's the cop at the time. And that's where Flash of the Bay plays, and you've got the cable and all that. But
and she goes down the tunnel, and then she's finally gonna get to use the phone, but she's talking to the lawyer, right?
Yeah, Morris, the lawyer, which he pops up a little bit later, doesn't he?
Right. Yeah.
Which again is the goofy
for a blip, like
it's a great scene, man.
But so then she gets dragged from the detective through the hole, and she don't know, like she thinks somebody's attacking her or whatever. She pushes him, and then she falls back into the damn poltergeist pit, is what I call it. But
yeah, Stivalenti did a lot of dead bodies for that, but apparently, it was that bad. Like Jennifer Connelly didn't even want to get in there. At one point, she had to be coaxed into doing it.
That looks pretty rough. It's like disgusting. It's the worst that he's.
I think a lot of the cast got or the crew got like ear infections and shit just being around that. And I think they did it in two places. So they did shoot it like in Rome, part of it in like a swimming or some guy's swimming pool. So it's
and then even some of those close-up shots looks like some shit out of Texas Chainsaw. No,
that's Poltergeist and Texas Chainsaw was the kind of vibe I got from that.
Right.
It's there just to gross you out.
What I'm saying, it's like you can see all the different head nods to all kind of shit like throughout this film.
I still can't understand that cop when he's chained to the fucking wall, man. And then you've got, the scene kind of like Hostel, where you'll break his fucking hand just to get out of it and push fucking Frau Buckner. I think she's brilliant. A lot of people say she overacts in the film. Yeah. But in that scene where she comes out the cupboard, I think she was in a cupboard. And then she just starts hysterically laughing.
Yeah, that
fucking great.
That part's great. Yeah, that part's cool. Matter of fact, I think I put that on here, didn't I? Hold on, I think I was going to. Go ahead. You can go ahead. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I put it up here or not. Yeah, I got it on here. Here we go.
Go on.
So this shit right here.
Yeah.
And that, you know what that reminds me of, though? Helena Marcus.
Yeah.
Suspiria. That fucking laugh she got right there reminds me of Marcus from Suspiria.
Without a shadow of a doubt, there's tons of stuff like that in this.
Right. Yeah.
And then we got the reveal of the killer as well. So Jennifer, she sees this young boy. He's crying with his back to her. He's telling her to go away. And she's like trying to do you know what I mean? She said, oh, everything will be okay and all this. But then he fucking turns, doesn't he? And he pretty much chases her out to this lake. And you've got the great scene where she summons.
Oh yeah, he says.
Flies.
Well, he says something about like, you scare me.
And it's like clearly a woman's voice as well, isn't it? Like when they do the old
me. She's like, it's okay. We know your mommy was bad. It's okay now. You don't have to be afraid anymore.
The actor, right? So the little actor, right, in that scene, he said they filmed another scene where we see him go into like this closet and get in the fucking spear with a knife, the blade. But they never showed it, or they never.
Oh man!
I don't know if it was.
I think that would have been killer.
Yeah, just to lead us up rather than you just go straight after her.
Yeah.
But then you've got the scene which unmistakably is taken from Inferno, Under the Water.
Definitely.
Which, you know, with the fire and
it's great.
All that with the boat.
It's done well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a head nod to like Inferno.
Yeah.
I love all that shit, man. You know. There's not much, as you'll find out, you know, when we give a rating, that I don't like about this. Right. I think Valley, the music ends up playing again, doesn't it then? And we get the Friday the 13th ending, like you say. We think it's all over. Carrie, of course.
We see Morris pull up.
Yeah. Right? We think he's gonna save her.
He's all like, "Oh, thank God!" And he comes walking down, and then chop, fucking head flies off.
Bang, out of nowhere, man. He gets decapitated. Oh man, you've got to love the ending to this.
Time. You know, that's Dario's dark humor, though, man.
And yeah.
And I dig it. I laugh every fucking time.
I mean, she ends up then, you know, like Frau Buckner ends up getting Jennifer, and she's got like a pane of like glass, I think it is, to her throat. And then you get the fucking killer monkey, man.
And you get the whole explanation, the Friday the 13th explanation.
Right, yeah. I was going to say, so...
My son was diseased, but he was my son, and I'm going to avenge him.
Exactly. It's exactly that. And anyone who's watching this now has never seen the film. They must be thinking, what the fuck? Because we got this killer monkey with a straight razor.
They did watch the film before they watched this, though.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Some people, they don't mind, do they? Some people don't mind spoilers, but you literally like, and that scene was filmed. She was absolutely fucking shitting herself, Daria Nicolodi, because she's got a wild animal chimp with a fucking who's literally, I think, 4 foot tall, so comes up over half of her, you know, body weight or height, with a fucking straight razor, and he's got to like pretty much do scenes where he's like slashing her.
That's real metal. Like that's
and
real
metal. That was Inga actually doing that scene. So that was really Inga's hand doing that fucking scene. Mm-hmm. She said she thought Dario.
She said she got cut doing that scene. It wasn't sharp, but it's still metal, and that's a damn chimpanzee.
Exactly, they blundered it as much as they could, but and that was the point where she just said to herself, "I think he's trying to fucking kill me," you know, which went on to opera. And she was convinced, and I still believe, like, she was literally convinced of that, you know, even later on in her life, that Dario fucking hated her. And I'd love to know the actual reason.
I mean, it definitely all adds up when you start seeing her roles in the later films, you know, like.
Absolutely, man. And I mean,
the shit she had to go through. So, like,
even in Inferno, she doesn't look great. You know, she plays, you know, she's not a glamorous kind of looking actress at all in any way, but I'd love to know the actual truth that was brought up in the chat earlier about whether she did actually cheat on Dario, and maybe that's why he turned against her. But she was kind of his lucky charm. Everything she wrote with Dario Argento was successful.
Yeah. Let me
pretty
get
much.
the chat right quick. We got quite a few. Let's see. This is where I left off. So, let's see. Good stuff. Got to run. Need to watch the replay later. I appreciate you, man. As always.
Yeah, thanks, man, for supporting the channel, man.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention Sergio Stivoletti for his cool makeup effects here. Also, I had a huge crush on Jennifer Connelly when this came out.
Well, yeah, as weird as it sounds, I did as well. But I mean, like, she's only 14, so you got to, I was probably 14 at the time as well when this came out. So, but I didn't see it like early. I don't think.
So I was 8 when this came out. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell she's a beautiful, without saying in court, like cringy or anything. You could tell she's a beautiful looking girl,
Right. Akers says, "Do you have a favorite scene in this?"
Oh man, I have a few. So the actual 10-minute opening scene in the Alps is like as good as anything he's ever done. I think it's got to be with Inga at the end. Like, I mean, before that though, like when Morris starts coming down the hill, like that shit. Oh,
the whole scene is just money. It's money with that damn chimp. And a chimp comes out with a straight blade and shit. Like, it's just fucking great.
Yeah, when you first see that, you're like, what the fuck? I think for me, the one of the early kills as well with the young girl, the 14-year-old girl with the spear, the flash of the blade first plays, I think that's great. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot though, really. But the chimp, I think it's got to be the topper with the straight razor shit.
But it's definitely the what the fuck moment in the film where you just
And the working title of the film was called The Monkey Killer.
That's right. Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah. So they couldn't think of another generic, more generic title than
The
that.
Monkey Killer. But so let's see. Justin says Argento needed a no man when it came to his music placement in this film. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Why didn't he get Simonetti to figure that shit out? Like, I figured like he could figure that shit out where all the shit needed to go.
Dario's Dario though, isn't he?
Right. Jackson Jack says 1 out of 10, not enough anal.
Ooh.
Shit. He says Phenomena is the only Argento I own. I mean to get more, but all those Blu-rays are pretty expensive. I imagine some of them came down since all them 4Ks came out.
Yeah, you can get pretty much like standard editions of all of his films, like fairly cheap. Yeah,
I know. Check out Hamilton Books. I got Deep Red 4K for not Deep Red. I got Cat of Nine Tails for $20, like the limited edition hardbox.
I would say, try if you can see all these films in 4K though.
Yeah,
certainly up until like Opera, then do it because these films benefit so much. Not so much the 90s one. I mean, Blu-ray's good enough for Trauma and Stendhal and even Sleepless.
Well, Trauma's only on Blue too, right? I believe.
Yeah, Trauma's only on Blue. I think Sleepless is only on Blue.
Right. And Inferno.
I don't think Stendhal's out on 4K yet either.
Yeah, it's Blue too. Yeah. So Jackson says my son looks like a weird bat spider baby, but he was a good boy. Yeah. Uncle Bill hates that chimp.
I think he's not the only one. I think fucking Jennifer Connelly and Dario Nicolodi agrees as well.
Horror Caffeine says, "Sup guys, just got here." Oh shit!
Hey, what's up?
Check out the replay if you've seen the film. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
I hope Synthetic was 12 when this came out.
Yeah, I know.
Deer Hunter says, "I want to see this movie." Okay, damn. I hate we spoiled it for you. Shit. I'm about to show a clip. I got one clip left, and it's pretty much like the whole end of the film. Like, so I don't know. Let's see.
Jackson Jack there. I watch Tenebrae. If you don't like Tenebrae, you're never gonna fucking like anything, man.
I think Deep Red would be the movie I'd try to get. Yeah, you might check Hamilton Books though. They got stuff really cheap, like $20, man, for a 4K.
Check out Jackson Jack. Check out Tenebrae and Opera, and tell me what you think.
Yep. And then Deer Hunter says the movie is old enough. It can be spoiled. Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah.
Well, here we go. I'm going to show the last clip that I got, and yeah.
You wrote yourself out, you silly gunnel.
What on earth is going on around here?
Someone there.
What? Who is he? Hey! Answer me!
Who are you?
It's all over.
Jennifer? Thank God.
He was deceased, but he was my son. I'm gonna kill you to avenge him! Why don't you call your insects?
That's got to be one of the craziest endings you'll ever see.
Yeah, man. It's great every time, though, man. I'm busting I was laughing my ass off just now. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, thank God, when he goes walking down that hill and shit. I was like,
it's that puppet face of the monkey on the car. Like, that gets me every time, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But yeah, man. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, some people in here got spoiled, but you know.
At least we warned them beforehand. I did
warn. We did warn.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got going on in the comments here.
I can see some of Jackson.
Yeah. Tenebrae, okay. Yeah, Tenebrae's. You used to be my favorite.
Go wrong. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Damn, they just threw that gem. Yeah.
But like we were saying, Jackson Jack earlier on, right? What they did throughout the filming is like they beat the shit out of the chimp if it didn't do what they wanted.
And look when it's getting mad, and that one, like right after it looks at the professor and sees the professor dead. I mean, what are they doing to piss it off? You know what I'm saying? Like,
they would take it back to the trailer and beat the shit out of it, and then they would like you could apparently Coxie said you could hear the fucking monkey being fucking hit and shit.
Damn.
By the handler, which is not good, I know, but.
And Jackson says, I'd love someone to interview her and ask her what the fuck she was thinking during all of this. Yeah.
Apparently she was kept from all like the really gruesome scenes. They try to keep her from that as much as possible, the horror part of the film. But
right.
Yeah, she doesn't really talk much on it, if ever, on this film. I think there's one little clip of her mentioning this film.
The slime pit. Yeah.
Mm.
What the fuck is that thing? I always wondered.
Yeah, which one? Like you have to like see.
Yeah. Let's see, Castellar, Daniel Garcia. What's going on, man? It says Phenomena.
Hey,
Phenomena and the Manitou are weird films.
Oh, fuck. Have you seen the Manitou, Dirk?
No, I haven't.
There's a scene involving.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, there's a scene involving a dwarf that comes out of this fucking body in that film. That's all I remember from that.
Okay. The chimp is the hero. Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, yeah, he really is.
The Manitou is also good. Okay. How could you not want to see the movie after seeing that? Yeah. Yeah.
This is it, man. Hopefully we put some different viewers on watching this.
Hell yeah. Alan, we got Alan in here. He says, the monkey kept asking, what's my motivation? Right.
The monkey is a wild fucking animal. I know that. And it shouldn't really be on a film set.
But it's the thing about a chimp, though, it's easier to train. You know, they're already trained, basically. To do a spider monkey would make, you know, from what I was hearing, like it takes longer to train a spider monkey. It
takes 6 months, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
So this like monkey was obviously a lot bigger than what they had planned. There's still not any fucking price or check or any money in the world that would get me to fucking work with that chimpanzee on a film set. I just wouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, back in the day, man, it was live animals all the time, you know. So
I mean, how many things you see in the newspaper about these chimpanzees ripping the faces off victims and shit? And not for me, man.
Let's see, Jackson says she was swimming in some corpse shit, though. That was gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you know it was probably just some real dumpster water. Yeah.
I think there was some like maggots and shit, or there was like
those real maggots, yeah.
Dirty stuff in there, like, you know.
Jason Johnson says, love SPC's southern accent. Can't make out Darren's. Where are you from?
I'm from Wales in the UK. And I much prefer Dirk's accent than mine anyway.
I'm down here in Louisiana.
yeah. Southern part of America.
Right. Deer Hunter says the chimps have been observed in the wild, fashioning spears and hunting smaller monkeys, sometimes just to torture.
That doesn't surprise me either. Yeah, man. I mean, it's ambitious to get, you know.
It's definitely, man. Yeah, this was I feel like this is Dario's big middle finger to a lot of people. You know, like, and one of those people just happened to be the villain of the film. Like, so.
Yeah. I mean, you can't write this down, you know. Fellini actually literally sat down and wrote the fucking plot of this at one point. It's, you know, I don't know if there's anything involved like fucking John Carpenter would do with a 6-pack maybe. And no, it's crazy film, crazy storyline.
I love Phenomena, man. What would you put it? Or The Animal Killer? That's what I'm gonna start calling this film. I mean, the monkey killer. The monkey killer.
Yeah. It's undoubtedly a 10 out of 10, but there's quite a lot of Argento films that are 10 out of 10. Okay. I'm trying to see now where I would rank it in
you
my
got a 10 out of 10?
This is a 10, yeah.
Okay.
I would have in the past, and I don't know, I probably got it on Letterboxd as like a 9.5. But watching it this time, man, I love it. It's a 10, I think. It's gone up for me.
It's probably an 8 out of 10 for me, to be honest.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I
I
thought
love the
he was at
film.
least gonna say a fucking 9 or 9.5.
Shit, 8's good. What are you talking about? Like, damn.
Oh, it's better than an 8, I'd say. But
Right.
yeah. So where would you put it? Like roughly in your like
It's in my
Argento
top 10.
rank? It's got to be round about number 4 or 5 for me out of all Argento films. But then I've got a lot of 10s, so
It's in
you
my
know what I mean?
top 10 for sure. It's not in the top 5 though.
It might break my top 5 thinking about it.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, Justin Marino's got a 6 out of 10.
Shit.
And then Jackson says 8 out of 10. Yeah.
It is like, yeah, I've heard a lot of people that don't warm to this really.
And then Jason says I could tell hearing that all the time. Okay. Talking about my accent, I guess. But yeah, it's still a solid ass film, man. It's a damn good Argento. But
it's a blast, isn't it? It's one of those films you just put on. You can watch at any moment in time.
And shit, in the past month, is it the past month or the past 2 months? I know I've seen this damn thing probably 4 or 5 times,
Probably, 5, maybe 5, 6 weeks or something since we mentioned we're going to do it.
Right. But cool, man. Was there anything else you want to mention? I did want to mention something else.
Go for it.
So I was trying to think of all the horror films in girls' boarding schools. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So here's the ones I got. Some of them I haven't seen, which I need to see. But Satan's School for Girls, 1973. You seen that one?
No, is that a TV film? I think maybe.
It says said it's a campy. It's like a campy horror film. So
I've heard of it.
Campy slasher. But I can't believe you hadn't seen that one. But I figured, like, with the slashers and all. But
don't sound like a slasher to me though.
Satan's School for Girls. Yeah, 1973. It's like a cult slasher kind of deal.
Okay.
But The House That Screamed, 1969.
You know what I feel about that film. I love it.
Yeah, that's top tier boarding school, girls boarding school horror.
Christina Galbo, one of the best looking fucking actresses on the planet.
It's an awesome movie. That one scene, especially that with the knife and everything and the clock. Yeah, it's killer. The House of the Damned, 1963.
No, I've not seen that one.
It's like a ghost film, but it's a boarding school for girls ghost horror film.
Okay.
What Have You Done to Solange, 1972.
One of the best fucking giallo films ever made, in my opinion.
The Vampire Happening, 1971. It's supposed to be a campy ass horror film set in a boarding school.
Okay.
Enigma, Lucio Fulci's Enigma.
I was going to mention that, yeah. We got that coming up.
Well, you want to name a couple? Because I don't want to take them all.
I can't even think of a couple more.
I got a bunch wrote
Enigma
down.
was the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
Fulci.
Okay. Twins of Evil, 1971.
Oh, God, yeah. I love that film. Yeah.
Picnic at Hanging Rock, 1975.
Shit, yeah. That's another great one.
The Finishing School, 1969.
That's the House That Screamed.
It's the same film?
Yeah, it's the same film as the House.
Oh shit, Massimo Fanciosa? No, that's a different director.
It's the same title. I know it's known as The Finishing.
Because the House That Screamed is Narciso Ibanez Serrador.
Yeah, it sounds a different director. I don't know whether
And
I
then
know
Massimo
maybe it's just known.
Franciosa is The Finishing School. So
oh, maybe it's different now. I know it was known as The Finishing School as well. So.
Okay. Then you got A Course of Suspiria, 1977, and then you got and Blood and Black Lace is not a boarding school per se, but everybody that's working there, they're beautiful women, and they're under strict directions from like where they're working. They're being like strictly supervised, I guess you say. In the modeling, fashion, whatever.
Fashion house,
yeah, fashion house. Yeah. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to throw out there. Boarding school horror. So
And we got Enigma coming up, actually.
Yeah, we
In a
do. We
couple
got
of weeks.
so next week we will be covering. Next week we're covering some more Jolly, some modern Jolly. Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, the Barbarian Sound Studio, and Video Man.
Yeah, I'm stoked for like watching Video Man. I hear so many good things about that.
I haven't seen two of these, but I got this. I don't know if it's still available. It was limited to like 1,000 from Vinegar Syndrome off the partner label. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped.
I think you can still get it because I got it a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
It's a love letter to the Giallo film that I've heard.
All three of these are. All three of these. Yeah. So we'll be covering that next week. That's gonna be interesting. So.
And then 2 weeks time we got Lucio Fulci, 3 films. So Enigma, Door into Silence, and Murder Rock. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. And we're about to get out of here, but I'm gonna go through the comments right quick.
Yeah.
Says Jason Johnson says, first time listening to you guys, and don't forget to hit the like, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate all the support.
Yeah, man. And Justin Marino says Deep Red is a 9, and it's my favorite Argento film. Okay.
Deep Red is one that everyone loves that I've not. I like it, but I don't warm to it like everyone else. I don't know why it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Tenebrae is an 8.75. Holy shit, we're doing that now.
Okay. Tenebrae is 11 out of 10 for me.
I'd give Tenebrae a 10. Yeah, I love Tenebrae.
Yeah.
Jackson says, titty fuck that like button.
He actually says titty funk.
Oh, he said, okay, funk. Okay, yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
And Jackson says, I have House of the Damned on DVD. That's the one that's kind of like Freaks mixed with House on Haunted Hill. Oh, okay.
Shit. That sounds decent, yeah.
That sounds like I need to see that.
Yeah.
So, cool. Narcy. Okay. Cool. But yeah, man. But I appreciate everybody, man. Y'all I guess we'll get out of here, man. Anything else you want to bring up before we get out of here? Or anybody got any questions or anything y'all want to talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah, if someone wants to give us a few questions, like we got a few minutes we can do. No, just the labor of love, as Dirk knows this film is for me.
Yeah.
I want to show off the steel book I got from Arrow.
Okay.
This is fucking weird to print, man. You got the monkey on the back of it.
Yeah.
Quickly, I think everyone's seen this is the limited edition UK. You've got the book, posters and all that stuff. And then I got the window box from Arrow UK back in the day.
Man. You ain't gonna open all that stuff up and show everything?
I could do.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay.
Nah. Well, this is all I got. I did have the old blue, the Arrow, but I got rid of it because I
won that. I won that Synapse one.
So this is a Synapse. That's the one I ended up getting it, and I thought it was the same as the Arrow, but you know,
that's a limited one though, is it, Dirk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I got zero chance of probably getting that now.
Yeah, but
unless
it comes with a poster, and I guess I could show that right quick. It's killer.
That's the one I regretted not getting when it come out.
The Synapse?
Yeah.
Or the
there was
Arrow.
a toss up between that and the Arrow.
But it's got
obviously being in the UK.
Got this killer ass. Let me turn this light off.
Fuck, man, I like that.
I don't know if you can see that or not. That showing good or not?
Yeah.
And then that's the original. Well,
oh, I love that cover.
I'm telling you, the old Creeper's one that I remember though. Half her face was ate off, dude. Like that's what I remember.
Oh man, I wish I could have got my old Fangoria for that.
Yeah, that's like the Japanese poster or something, right? I don't know.
It's the Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, that's Japanese. That's killer though. Yeah, and then it comes with a big old thick book and everything, which most of these do.
I never put up any of those posters though.
No,
I get with
they stay in the edition, man. They stay.
Yeah.
So, and I this is a great artwork on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anybody that likes that kind of shit.
You're like me.
And
You keep
I keep the
J-card.
card and everything.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
got the J-card to the steelbook, but I left it in the other room because it's annoying when you gotta fucking attach it to it.
But I've gotten to the point now, man. Like, there's only certain films I'll get multiple editions for. But
oh shit, I'm still buying multiple editions for like
because
recently.
I just don't have the room. I don't have the space for that.
I don't have the room, but I still friggin' buy them, man.
Yeah. Right. But
I got Murder Rock now. I'm going to be getting again in a couple of weeks for me.
Right. That was crazy to me that you got both of those. I was like,
oh man, yeah, I've got Fulci,
yeah.
man, in it. It's Fulci.
But yeah, man, this has been awesome. Finally got a Phenomena done. So
yeah, we still got to keep a few back though, because we don't want to blow our load, and there's still some big ones to come. We got the Animal Trilogy.
Yeah, we got to do Deep Red at some point.
Deep Red, Tenebrae. Yeah, there's a few.
Let's see. Jackson says, you guys watch anything that's not Italian? And Dirk, are you not coming back for the Scream Factory show that they're about to do?
Oh shit, they're doing a show in there, yeah.
Tonight?
Is it tonight?
I don't know.
I thought it was in the week, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll have to double check.
Yeah, I don't think I'm on that show. Yeah. No, I watch more than just Italian. I watch, grindhouse films, and I watch a lot of old school horror.
We mainly cover Italian on here on our channel as well.
Yeah,
but
Italian
I'm a big slasher fan, so I watch a lot of slashers. Not so much the new stuff because it just
a lot of new stuff I don't watch. Unless I'll check out a handful of films that came out in the year,
But I'll check up anything that's like thriller type. It doesn't have to really be a giallo or slasher. As long as it's got like a good atmosphere. But usually, mostly in the 70s and 80s is stuff I like. 60s.
I've told Darren, I've said it on these streams before. Like, my favorite types of films, though, period. I don't care what the genre is the damn puzzle film, like the mystery film, like the ones that fuck with your head kind of shit, the ambiguous, like I don't care what genre it is, I'll watch that shit. Like something that's gonna screw my head up, I'm all for it. Try to figure that shit out.
Yeah, the Thinking Man's film really get you.
But
yeah,
that's the ones that I lean toward the most. Let's see, thoughts on a Leprechaun 4K box set. Oh shit, I don't know. That's not me. That's not my bag.
I'll be honest with you, right? I've got like the DVDs and I've never watched them. Like
I remember the first one had Jennifer Aniston in it, but
I did. No, funny enough, I did see one that was from the mid 2010s, maybe. Or is it Leprechaun Origins? That's the only one I've seen.
Oh shit! Nah, I think that's bad. I never saw it. I heard it.
Yeah, it plays out like a slasher. That's why I bought it, but I've only seen it once, and I think I'll go back.
We got a DJ Forecast in here. He says the Swiss Mountain Alps is one of the best backdrops in a movie ever. The first kill is amazing too. Heads rolling off waterfalls. Yeah, definitely.
100%, man. And even the ending to Opera in the Alps as well, where you've got the killer running around the hills and all that. Yeah, amazing.
Justin says, Darren, I would hate to see that stack of totes and boxes fall on you. That's a high stack.
Well, if you look closely, it's been like that now for a while, where it's kind of I'm gonna like pretty much gonna put some posters up at some point and it's not the most attractive background in the world.
And Jackson says, I don't know when the show is happening, but I know you were in the last one or two of them, and you own most of the Scream Factory releases, even the crap.
Was you in the last one, Dirt?
No, I wasn't me.
I was going to say, that was probably Garrett, wasn't it? Or...
Let's see. Jackson says, hell yeah. I'm all 70s and 80s, but as I get older, I'm getting more nostalgic for stuff from the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah.
How old are you, Jackson Jack, anyway? Because I can never tell, like, how old you are.
And Jackson says, Leaning Tower, shit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Maybe I'm high. Shit.
It is leaning, though.
Maybe it wasn't you. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't me, man. Well, I was born in 90. What the hell?
Okay, still fucking young, man.
Okay, I thought you was older than me. Shit, I was born in '77, so no.
I'm the old bastard. 71. I was born.
You're old crusty.
Oh yeah. 50, in the 50s.
Yeah, get a storage unit. Joseph Marino said. Holy shit!
You want to see the shit I got that side of my laptop, man? It's just fucking piles of like DVDs and shit.
Right.
I need to get some kind of order going on. But when I do actually start doing the poster, the poster collection and VHS and all that shit, I think people will be surprised. I got some good stuff, some rare stuff like Pakistan posters, and yeah, it is coming. I know I keep, saying it, but
yeah,
it will come.
Jackson says I was 15 when I found DEADPIT. That's when they started. That's how I ended up like this. Shit.
Yeah. So Jackson Jack, were you on the boards in the early days then? Was it maybe under a different name or something? But
do a collection tour, Marino says. Yeah.
Yeah. I got some stuff to show, man. Put it that way.
Yeah, Darren's got some insane shit. Crazy shit. Man.
I've got fucking torso poster, fucking eyeball, like
tons of posters. I keep trying to get him to do a poster video so we can throw it up here,
I've got the big Mexican lobby cards, right? Fucking like black belly of tarantula, fucking lot of like Giallo titles in that. So yeah.
Right. Let's see. Jackson says I didn't really write in a lot. I wrote in like twice. I was too scared. They were a lot more intense back in the day.
So Jackson Jack, you won that little boy then, because at one point they had some young boy ringing, I think it was, on their phone, I think you could hear his mother telling him to get off the phone or something in the background, if I'm remembering it right.
I've listened to a lot of them old on the Patreon and everything. I've heard a bunch of that old stuff.
I always go back, man, and listen to them.
Right.
Yeah, I was lucky I got into them really early on as well.
And
like doing a stream for them now, like on DEADPIT, it just blows my fucking mind. Like,
and Justin says, "Where the hoes at, Darren?"
Oh, there's fucking a few where I'm from, mate.
I dig British gals.
Oh yeah, they dig you as well. Trust me.
Yeah,
British girls are like so fucking easy, man, to pick up.
Damn it.
Oh yeah,
but
that's another fucking stream in itself, man.
Yeah, man. Well, man, I guess we'll get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the chat's been wild tonight, and been a lot of people in here. For us, it's been a lot checking us out. So appreciate.
Yeah,
that.
Thanks, man. Just kind of, we're on every 2 weeks on DEADPIT, and
check
out our channel as well.
If you like what we're doing, sub to Subjective Perspective Collective and DEADPIT.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back the EuroCrypt. We're coming back. We're going to bring some Fulci on the next EuroCrypt. So Argento, step aside. There's only one sheriff in town, son.
Fulci, it is, yeah. Yeah. No, still not as good as Argento for me, but he's not far away, man.
No, Bob is the master of them all. So, let's see.
Can't argue with that.
Jackson says, "No, it wasn't me, but I know what you're talking about."
Yeah, it's a funny show that was.
Feel free to send the poster to me, Darren. I'll pay for the shipping. Rather hard. And Daniel Sean says, "Sorry I missed it, gents. Looking forward to watching it back." Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in anyway, even if it is like on the replay. Lorne was in the chat earlier, Dan, as well. So he was saying a few comments.
And also, like, if y'all are interested, man, we do a show with Dan, the Dead End Drive-In, on Visited by Voices Network. We did one recently. So here's one, Jackson Jack, Kinjite with old Charles Bronson, and we did Hardcore with George C. Scott, so with Dan, and then we got another one coming. It's on the way. So
yeah.
But Alan,
and of course we did Region 3, the last one, a week or so ago as well. So check out Visited by Voices.
That was a good Region 3 topics on there. Check that out.
They always are, man, on there. It's just always a good time with those guys, man.
And Jack says, one time a kid called in and CK asked him how old he was, and the kid hung up on him.
That might be the one I'm on about. Yeah, actually thinking about it. That's yeah. That sounds like.
Kinja Tay even know how to spell that. Yeah, that's Charles Bronson's last film he did with Cannon, I believe, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of a dark but comical. It's I don't know.
Kind of a dark.
It's a mix.
Goofy, kind of like really dark subject matter.
Yeah.
I will say that. Hardcore's the same though as well. You've got some comedic kind of things going on in that.
What was the channel? Dead End Drive, or was that the movie? Okay, the channel is Visited by Voices Network, and the show is the Dead End Drive-In. Yep.
And we did quite a lot of them as well, so you can dig into the archives of them.
We got a whole bunch we done with Dan. You still plan on doing Who Can Kill a Child this summer? Yes, we're doing that with Texas. We're actually going to do some killer kid films, and that'd be a good one.
We are in talks with Texas, I believe. I think Dirk's gone back and forth with him. We just got to find a date and a time for everyone.
And Dan saying that's the channel link. Yep, right up here, Jackson. Yeah. So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all check it out. It's all a bunch of good stuff. Y'all have a good week coming up, man. And
absolutely.
We'll see y'all next week. Hopefully. So y'all have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.
Next weekend we'll go to a place I know by the sea, okay? And we can stay in bed from Friday till Monday screwing our brains out.
Oh, really?
Sure, we deserve it.
Shit, I can't never get this shit right.
You have fallen into the EuroCrypt. There is no escape from the EuroCrypt.